Are you ready for love? Hi, I'm Marcus Holmes, the facilitator of the Love and Stuff community, and we're ready for you to join us on the next episode of The Dating Game. Forget all of the social distancing. Let's get up close and personal online. And who knows, you might make a heart connection that will lead you to a private Zoom room date. Inbox me now at Marcus R. Holmes or at Love and Stuff for your opportunity to connect closer while we are so far apart. Stay safe and be well. And good evening, and welcome to Love and Stuff. I am Marcus Holmes, your facilitator, and I'm excited to be here again with you on a Tuesday evening, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to share all things love and stuff and to up our love game. That is our mission, to increase the amount of love in the world. And we hope that we can accomplish that through a loving community who is open, willing, able, and available to pursue ventures of love that will impact people, impact families, impact community with love. We believe that the quintessential love has designed us in his image, that we would love him back, love ourselves, and love our neighbors then as ourselves. Our neighbors are an outpouring of that healthy love that you and I have developed for God and ourselves. And that's what our mission is in the Love and Stuff community. So I want to welcome you all across our platforms. I see folks on YouTube events, folks that are on Facebook, looking for folks on Twitch TV. Thank you all so much for joining us via Restream on both the Marcus R. Holmes page and the Love and Stuff page. I see Carol Denise Bishop there, Ernest Sisson, Stacy Jones, others. If you'll just drop in the comments, shout out. Today we'll be shouting out specifically some folks, but we want to shout out all of you that are in the Love and Stuff community now. And I hope that you will click share and tag someone to join us today in a wonderful day of Kwanzaa celebration. All right, thank you so much. And we're praying for you, Carolyn. A wonderful day of Kwanzaa celebration. Ujamaa is today, and we're talking about cooperative economics, about how we can empower ourselves through ourselves, to ourselves, by ourselves, and how we can shop local and shop Black and shop all of these creators and extraordinary businesses. So if you know an extraordinary business or you're an extraordinary business owner, I want you to drop the name of your business in the comments, drop your website link in the comments. And if you're interested in coming on live and just doing a quick shout out, I'd love to have you on to talk briefly with you, just to shout you out. All right, I see Leonard Gowdy has joined us. I hope all of you that are joining will click share. I want to shout out all of the Black businesses, realtors, chefs, everybody. I want to shout you out. And just before I do that, I want to thank all of you who tuned in to watch Love Came Upon a Midnight Clear. Was our Christmas gift to the Love and Stuff community. And thankfully to you across all social media channels, that includes Twitch TV, YouTube events, LinkedIn, Facebook. We've had so far over 7,000 views. We're very excited about that. We believe it was a great presentation, and we're grateful that so many of you viewed it and shared it and enjoyed it. I hope that you will continue to share it and continue to enjoy it. And when you do, make sure you go to the Love and Stuff page and click follow. We're trying to increase our followership, and we just would love for you to join us in that. So drop in the comments your business name and your contact information. We're going to do that all evening long because we think it is really important for us to support our own. And a lot of discussions have been going on social media around that support of our own. And so I thought I would open that conversation and discussion while you are deciding whether or not you will join us or drop in your information in the links. And those of you that are joining, I hope you will click share, and I hope you will drop in the comments the name of a business that you want us to patronize. Maybe you're not a business owner, but there is an outstanding African American or minority owned business or supplier, or locally owned business or supplier that you want to give a shout out to. Let's give a shout out to them right now. So drop that in the comments right now. And I thought I would open it and share with you, because one of the topics that we happened upon was, someone was saying, well, don't talk down our Black businesses, build up the ones that are doing great. And I think we have a responsibility to hold each other accountable. So that means that we have to build up, of course, the ones that are doing great, and the ones that we don't see as quite making the bar, we should be providing them positive feedback and observation as well. And so I am really a stickler about customer service. I think the customer experience supersedes even the quality of your product. I think sometimes people will take a lesser quality product for an optimal or exceptional customer service experience. That shouldn't necessarily be the case. I'm not saying you should take substandard products, but I know that customer service, the customer service experience, the customer service journey, the customer experience journey, whatever name that you like to affix to it, is really important, and it drives business results. When customers walk away from your establishment as someone that has experienced something that they can delight in, they're typically more inclined to share that with someone within their circle of influence. And the opposite is also true. If they have a bad experience, it's harder for some of them to get over it, and some of them will, also evangelize that experience, if you will. And so I thought I'd open it with sharing just a couple of experiences. Now I'm going to share a really great one and a good one, and then a not so good one. With the not so good one, I will not mention the name of the organization. I am still hoping for a complete turnaround in what I feel was less than an optimal experience twice, because I try to give people a chance. And so I see that Tracy Shavalori has joined us. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you that are joining. I hope you will click share and tag someone to join us in the discussion. And while you're doing that, drop in the comment, what is the name of that business that you want us to patronize? At Linwood True. Hey, brother, peace and love to you. Drop the name of your business in there. That's a brother who makes it happen. Drop the name of your business in there if you can. Or the name of a Black business. Drop the name of that grocery store that you turned me on to, so that what we're doing, Linwood, is dropping the name of businesses on today's Ujamaa and Kwanzaa's cooperative economics, and shopping our own, supporting our own. Of course, we don't want to relegate it to one day a year, but we want to raise the awareness and elevate the voices of all of these extraordinary businesses. And so drop the name of the business and contact information so everybody can support that business. Okay, so wherever you are around the country or around the world, drop the name of your business, or drop the name of that favorite business who provides exceptional service. And we want to highlight their businesses today on Kwanzaa, in our Kwanzaa celebration around cooperative economics, supporting our own, shopping our own, helping to maintain our own business and shops, by ourselves, for ourselves, with ourselves, through ourselves. Ujamaa. All right. So Barigani, what's the news? What's the word today? Ujamaa. It is cooperative economics. How can we build up our communities by strategically using our resources to shop within our own communities and build them up and hold them accountable for the kind of customer service journey and experience that you desire? And so one of my customer service experiences, and I'm a firm believer that you can definitely, people will return to your business even if the product wasn't top notch, if the customer experience was. Okay. Ujamaa is cooperative economics, Corey, and good evening. So I have, since working remotely, I frequent more often, because I hadn't frequented it as often. I'm a coffee drinker. And there was a time that I would go to Starbucks. I would go to Tim Hortons when I was working in the office downtown. But working remotely, just minutes from where I live, is a coffee shop called Narrow Way Cafe. And Narrow Way Cafe is a coffee shop that primarily staffs young people. So these are, I believe, all millennials, maybe a Gen Y in there, uh, all young people. And the service experience is excellent. I love going there, and sometimes I'm delighted to go there just for the interaction with these young people. They say young people help you stay young. Well, I'm young, so I help me stay young. But I enjoy the experience. They are pleasant. They are articulate, which is important. They are, I would say, friendly. And I go in, and all of them greet everybody who walks in the door. All of them do. And what I've come to love is that because I am a frequent customer, they know my favorite drinks. They know exactly what goes in each one of them. And they kind of know they've learned the nuances of Marcus Holmes, such that I go in and I can just about seamlessly order and get to the end, get my baked goods and all of the stuff. And I am just very pleased with their service. As I always tell their manager, I call her manager lady. I always tell her that because it's an experience that I delight in. I delight in going. There have been a couple of times that an order wasn't ready or wasn't as warm, the coffee wasn't as hot as I thought it would be, or something. But because of the connection that they have deepened, what's most important is that connection, and not always the coffee. Of course, I'm particular about the coffee, but the coffee makes a big difference. And so it is an extraordinary place. I invite you, if you're in the Detroit area, to go to Narrow Way Cafe and enjoy coffee, fresh goods, banana, nut bread. They have a veggie bread that is fantastic, and I enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Love it, love it, love it. One of my great places to go. I have a friend who I think I've known Joy Boterford Greer since we were either 2 and 3 or 3 and 4, very young, just a few years ago. And she introduced me to Letty Parker, who does fantastic seafood boils. And I mean, this roux that the seafood, you'd heard Mama V. Valencia Edner here talk about a roux. Man, oh man, she does a roux that she puts this crab and potato and carrots, corn and egg, and all the stuff that you put in the seafood boil, and it is so delicious. And she went a step further and maybe a smoothie and all of this other extra special stuff. The way that she personalized the service is memorable to me. And even though I don't get that far, it's a little distance for me, but I always remember the service. I would tell anybody, someone says seafood boil, I'll say, oh, well, have you tried her? So I'm shouting her out. 2 great experiences. Now I have to tell you about one that wasn't so great. And I see where Tamuk has talked about Narrow Way Cafe. Yep, one of my favorites. And on one of his posts, he talked about, lifting the voices of great service providers in our community. So, and thank you, J. Gerald, for the lesson. Letty Parker's establishment, it skipped my mind, Carolyn. So I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna tag her, and maybe she can put the name of it in, or you can go to Lette Parker. But she is fantastic. She's on the east side, kind of northeast side, northern suburbs, but fantastic. I would tell you to support her today if she's available to do something personal for you. But I had another business where the customer service, which again, that's important to me, was way less than stellar. And I want to always support our Black businesses. I want to support every business that I can. But there are some things that are important to me in business. And customer service is one of them. Integrity is another. Honesty is another. So this particular establishment is a food establishment, so it's a service establishment. And the pandemic has been crazy for everybody, right? The pandemic has been something for everybody to navigate, especially small businesses, which is why it's important if you're connected to social media. Christina calls it customer satisfaction. There you go. Sometimes in human resources, we call it the employee experience or customer experience journey. So, tons of names we can affix to it, but yes, customer service, customer satisfaction. Very important to me, Christina, very important. And so I know that, people are really trying to navigate, and small businesses have been hit hard, and I'm trying to support them. And so this is during the pandemic that this happened, a little earlier on in the pandemic. So I understand people were trying to get their footing and everything, right? And so it's important you use all your resources and tools that are available to you. Very important, I think. And so this particular business has social media presence. So when I was told about their business that I had not been to, I don't think in a very long time, I was told about a specific item on the menu. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna try it. I got a taste for that. And I went to one of the social media presence, and it listed hours, right? And it listed hours kind of like a noon to 8, something like that. Noon to noon, something like that. And so I said, oh, good. It's 6:30. I could go place my order. It's in the area where I could, if I needed to leave, run another errand or two, run in CVS, something. And so I call and I said, hey, are you taking orders over the phone? So it was more like a yellow. I don't know if you've ever heard that greeting before, but yellow. And I was like, I'm sorry, is this so-and-so business? Yeah. Oh, okay, well, I'd like to place an order. Oh, well, you're going to have to hurry up and place your order because we're going to close in the next half hour. So we're going to close at 7. I said, oh, I went to say, oh, I was going to say, oh, your social media site says, and he interrupted me and says, we're closing early. What do you want? Now, I could have followed my first mind and said, nothing. I just wanted to see if you were open. Thanks so much. I'll try you another time. But me saying, I'm going to press on past this, I said, oh, okay. Well, I heard about this specialty. Let me see if we got that. Not place me on hold. Not may I put you on hold while I check. Not place you on hold. Just put the phone down. So I thought, okay, this is a test. Jesus is testing me, and I'm okay with it because I'm a pass the test this time. I wait a minute, and he comes back a little frustrated. Yeah, we got one. I said, oh, well, okay. You want it, or kind of rushing me a little bit. I was like, hold on, I don't want to inconvenience you. And he said, well, we were about to close. Still not having enough, must be a glutton for punishment. I said, well, I'll take it. I'm heading there now. I get there 10, 15 minutes later, so it's close to 10 to 7. I walk in, the gate is pushed toward the door. So the gate that you might push a lock to is pushed toward the door, but it's not locked. So I have to kind of push it forcibly. And I go in and say, hello, we're closed. I said, well, did you close with my food? Because I placed the phone order. Oh, yeah, we got yours. I said, oh, okay. I said, I didn't get the total on the phone. Give me a second. I'm going to call you back. He's on another call, and he gets off the phone and says, okay, now what did you have? Now, you just said you were closed, and like you remembered my order. I said, I had that special thing. Oh, yeah, I got it. I said, oh, okay. What's the cost? What's the cost? Hold on one second. So he, rings it up. I guess hadn't rung it up. and tells me the price. And I said, okay. And I pull out my card. You pay on the card? I said, mm-hmm. Oh, okay. And give him the card. He turns the screen around. If you want an email receipt, you can put your information in, and you can also put a tip if you want to. And I said, oh, okay. Sign, no tip. And so he said, okay, here's your order, blah, blah, blah. I said, now the item on the screen says this, but I ordered this. And he said, oh, I must have misunderstood you. Well, we got one of those, but I got to heat it up. I said, well, if it's not, freshly made, that's okay. I'll take this. No, I'll bring it out to your car. I want to make sure you get what you ordered. I said, well, I appreciate that. I said, I'm parked right across the street. Oh yeah, okay. All right. I said, okay, thank you so much. I go across the street, 7:05, 7:10, 7:15 comes. I said, I better go back over there. Maybe he forgot me. The door is now locked with the screen hooked. So I knock on the door and he comes right away and says, oh, I was wondering when you were going to come back over for it. I said, I'm sorry. Now I'm really sorry. You said that you were going to bring it to me. Oh no, you must have misunderstood me. I'm closing. So I'm the only one here. I wouldn't leave the shop unattended. I said, okay, thank you so much. Do you need it? I said, I don't need anything else. Thank you so much. I waited, calm my energy down. And I said, let me just post on their page on social media. Whenever a manager is available, I'd like to leave a review. Because my first thought was go in on the page. I said, no, that's not what we should do for Black businesses, especially any business, but we shouldn't do it for Black businesses. We should hold them accountable by talking to management, leadership, and ownership about the customer service expectations we have for our community and how we can help you fulfill those. And when those haven't been fulfilled, what we think is an appropriate remedy. So sure enough, the owner inboxed me within the hour and said, oh, I don't, did something go wrong? I said, everything about this went wrong. And I, recounted what had happened. He said, may I have your number? And I said, yes. And he called me and apologized profusely. I've been short-staffed. The pandemic took some of my good staff. They weren't able to, this is a family member. I said, well, your family members have to understand more than anybody else that you're in business to make money and they can kill your business. And he said, you're right. And, please give me another opportunity. I will give you a coupon that you can use for whatever item or free item. I said, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm going to, think on that. I'm not sure I'm coming back. I'll be honest. I'm not sure I'm coming back. But the fact that you offered something, I should at least consider coming back. I should consider it. I appreciate how quickly you got back to me. And listen, I want to support our businesses. So I don't want it to be a situation. That's why I posted, I'd like to leave a review. I did you differently than I've done Best Buy. I did you differently than I did Planet Fitness because I went in. I said, this is a Black business. Call it like you can call it. I said, I want to make sure these small businesses get the opportunity to address these errors. And so he did. And I can tell you, I've had other instances like that. And instead of blasting them, which is something I would have done, I will admit, I would have been the person that went to their page and said, now this is what your customer service statement said, and this is what I experienced. I said, nope, I'm going to give him an opportunity to redeem it because any number of things could happen. And among them, in a pandemic, maybe we haven't connected to those people in our family or whatever in our employee base that we've hired, that it is critical for us to keep the doors open, that our customer experience journey is optimal. And so I gave them a second chance. I went back another day. The owner was there. Once I gave him my name, he came out and greeted me. And the worker that I experienced the first time was there. And he was so salty that the owner said, never mind, I'll take care of him. He must have told him about the situation, which I would imagine. And he was so salty. Instead of taking it and saying, now, how can I improve it? He was salty with me, and it was visible. It was palpable to the point where I was like, I ain't going down this road twice. I promise you, the Aries and Herbert Holmes and me said, we ain't going twice. But the owner said, you know what? I got this. I'm going to take care of Mr. Holmes personally because I want to show him that this is how we take care of our customers. And he dotted every I and crossed every T. And I thanked him, but I said to him, now, remember what I said? He said, I think you were right, Mr. Holmes. And, you know, I may take you up on some of that customer service experience training. I said, for a nominal fee, I'm here. But I wanted to give him a second chance. I haven't been back, I'll be honest. I'm not saying I will not go back because the specialty item was delicious. And I'm a foodie. And I am, as some may call it, persnickety. I have a, you know, I love food, but I'm also kind of, I can be finicky. I'm not finicky with every food, but I can be finicky with food. Delicious. To the point where I've kind of said to people, it's a great food, but, you know, pack your patience. So that I don't tell somebody something and walk in and say, oh, this customer service was, I'm trying to do it that way. So I wanted to give you some examples because I think it's important that we hold businesses accountable. We have a right to expect a high level of customer service, just like you would do for our Caucasian brothers and sisters, or just like some of them do across certain boundaries in certain suburbs. I want that in the inner city. I live in the inner city. I plan on staying in the inner city for a bit. And I want the service to be as great in McDonald's. And yes, occasionally I still go to McDonald's. I want it to be as great as the McDonald's in the city as it is other places. I want that level of service. So I had to share that experience, and I will not share the name, but I see our senior associate producer has put Letty Parker's information, Lola's love bags, and her phone number. You definitely want to try her food. Excellent, excellent. Christina saying most small businesses are using family as staff. This is happening. And I, you know, I understand that. I thought at some point, and said to my brother, my father and my mother both were excellent cooks. My father could fry anything. My father could fry your foot, and you'd be eating it and saying, oh, my foot sure hurt. What is that? But this is so good. He done cut your foot off and fried it. My dad could fry it. He would fry a coon and be like, it's just meat. And Daddy, what's this? It's coon, but it's good. He could fry anything. He could saute, season, bake, greens, all that. My mom baked from scratch, all of that. I said, we should have a restaurant, but customer service is paramount. It is. And so you can hire family. I understand that. But you have to make sure family understands this is business. And you are not doing the customer a favor. It's the same thing in salons, nail salons, hair shops, barber shops. You're not doing the customer a favor by doing their hair, their nails, cutting their hair. You're not doing them a favor. They are patronizing your business. And one satisfied customer could be not only a repeat customer, but could open and lock his or her entire circle of influence to your business. And sometimes people don't do that because the way you conduct business. You have to be careful the way that you conduct your business. Just because you might be doing business in the hood, or you might be doing business and you got a hood clientele, you could have one person that is not a hood clientele person, and that person is turned off by all of the things that you might allow to happen in your establishment. So you just have to be mindful of that. No Tamook, no snitching. No Tamook, no snitching. Try at Lily's Meals on Instagram, best food from a young Black entrepreneur. Thank you so much, Autumn. I want all of you to do what Autumn is doing. Drop right now your favorite proprietor, entrepreneur, serialpreneur, business owner. It is Ujamaa Cooperative Economics, and I want around the country, across the world, for us to elevate the voices of the small business person in this cooperative economics so that we can retain our money in our communities, shop our own. I see another business owner, two business owners just came in, and I wanted to shout them out before I pivot to our second topic for the night, because we have some guests that are joining us. Krista Williams, I've patronized her. Beautiful, beautiful young lady. I've known her for a number of years. And I ordered some stuff. I think I can say it now. If my sister-in-law is watching, by now she's opened her present because my brother came over today to get her present in. She's got some beautiful products from Love Life Naturals. I think I'm reading. Yep, lovelifenaturals.com. It's a peppermint body butter, scrub, all of that good stuff for self-care. Crystal is in Alabama. You definitely want to patronize her. She's constantly doing a check to make sure she provides great service. She learned from Oprah to let excellence be your brand. Well, I'm thoroughly impressed. I was impressed with the special note that you put in there. Those are the types of things that I like. I love a special note in my packaging that says, thank you for your business, or says, hey, I know you like this. I put a little extra something in there. She put a little extra something in there. I gave it on to my sister-in-law, but I'm going to order for you for myself because I want to, try some of the products on my journey of better self-care. So that's lovenaturals.com. Joshua Lindsay is an executive chef. His information is there. Follow him on Instagram. Bobby Gooley Watts is an executive chef. Follow him. Complete Success University, LLC. Sweet Potato Sensations. Royal Cheesecakes and Varieties. Listen, Royal Cheesecakes and Varieties is one of my favorite dessert companies in the world. They make the best peach cobbler. Fight me. I'm a foodie, and I believe that peach cobbler is not supposed to be doughy. Doughy peach cobbler is of the devil. I don't care what you say. The devil made doughy peach cobbler. Jesus did not make doughy peach cobbler. Your crust is supposed to be flaky. Come on, raise your fingers like this and say flaky. That's what your crust is supposed to be. And that peach roux is supposed to seep into the crust, and it still don't come out doughy. It's got to be good crust, and it's got to be good stuff. And we give away cheesecakes, award-winning cheesecakes from rcvcakes.com. Go there and purchase. Their shipping got here in 2 days. Come on, somebody. Dwight Reed Jr., Black Barber. All right. Get Dwight on here. I want to talk to Dwight. If he's online, I want to ask him a couple questions, because I think our barbers and beauticians, I don't even know if they call themselves beauticians anymore, hairstylists and nail salon, it's some stuff that you got to tighten up. Not Dwight specifically, but I want to get his opinion. Hello, Tamerlyn. Anthony Kellum of Kellum Mortgage. Yes, Kellum Mortgage, and Rescue Rico's Realtors. Enrico White in North Carolina. He is a realtor in Charlotte. State Farm Insurance. Sam Cannonier. I'm not sure I pronounced it right. And I have to order for you too. Autumn, get your checkbook out. Maurice Miller, Wealth Advisor. Okay, you give me a lot of, keep them coming. Business Creator, Best Practices Consulting Service. All right, keep them coming. Christina Smith, Powerful Money Tools, LLC. We're having a special presentation on January 27th, right here on Love and Stuff. Christina is one of the headliners. If you want to get yourself together in 2021, listen, do it in the first month. Get your vision board out, get your piece board out, get your project board out, and come meet us, Marlon Wilson Williams, and Christina Smith, and a special guest we'll be announcing. Make sure that you get your ticket for that. All right. Harvey Travel Group, specializing in Florida and the Caribbean. Come on, Caribbean. Lots of business. Keep naming them. Keep naming them. All right. Fantastic. Yes. Powerful Money Tools, LLC. We're going to play your commercial in a minute. Created to Create Beads. Yes. Tag these people whose names you're putting. If you tag their names, we want them to know we're elevating the voices of small businesses today who are in the community, giving to the community, giving back to the community. Lakeisha Jones, Karen Umble Williams, all of these names. Absolutely. I think it's important that we support businesses in our community, and I work to do that. I really do. And Linwood True was here earlier. I don't know if he's still here. He turned me on to a Black grocery store because I had only really known of one, and I wasn't sure that it was still Black owned, but I know it was managed by a Black uh, African American gentleman down in the downtown area. But he gave me another Black owned store that has a pharmacy. The name of it is slipping me. So if Linwood True is here or somebody tag him, put the name of it's on Grand River and Oakman. It's in the hood, but it was good. It was clean. The customer service was excellent. The folks that work behind the counter say, sir and ma'am. Say what you want. Call me old fogey, old fashioned. Call me hard to please. I don't know. That might be. But you can certainly get a lot farther with my dollar if you say, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Instead of, what up? Well, what up? What does that mean? What are we doing here? There's some things you just have to do for me in customer service. Indulge Catering, Chez Moi, a baking renaissance, experience the awakening. Wonderful. Crystal Harris, made for this cleaning service. All of these are great. Brandy Monique, property management. All of these, tag these people in because I want them to know we're raising their voices and we want to raise their commercials. If they don't make a 30-second commercial, we will infuse their commercials in our programming. No cost because we don't want Facebook to shut us down, but we just want to elevate the voices of Black creators, Black businesses, small businesses especially, okay? And so we are not leaving out any ethnicity saying that we don't want to support you, but those that are in the community, those that live and work and play in the community ought to be supported by the community, and the community should have the right to hold them accountable for that support. Manny Allen, loaded on the go mobile food. All right. All right. Give me some claps for all of these people. It's 9:07 and I'm going to transition to the second part of our show. I want you to keep dropping the names of those businesses. I tagged the Black owned businesses page and some others so that they could drop names of businesses because I'm really serious about encouraging you to support businesses. Listen, businesses are on the brink of closing. We have folks in leadership, some that don't want to get the help out that's going to help small businesses and people of color. Don't you be fooled. There is a lot of machinations behind the scenes that they're trying to navigate money to certain people. They don't want you to get $2,000 really. There are some that don't want you to get it. And I won't make this a party issue. I won't make this partisan, but you need to look and see who's voting what and why and who stands to benefit. That's right, J. Gerald. Support our platform. Buy the Let's Love spread like a pandemic. Still on sale. And anything else that you want to buy. And 35% of net proceeds go to charity. Support us. We need your support. Thank you for that. Tiana Hakeem, Double the Flavor food truck. See, come on, food truck. Corey Reed, self-writer, illustrator, and self-publisher. Come on, Corey Reed. Tamuk Scruggs, notary. Come on, notary. All of these business opportunities are opportunities for you to support Black business. Businesses on the brink of closing. Trying to stretch, the need to keep us safe has impacted them. I'm all for social distancing and masks. I'm all for some of the requirements that governors have put in place. I really am. But I also know that it hurts businesses. So where we can do carry out, where we can do online purchase and pick up in store, where we can do, contactless purchases, do those few dollars for shipping, whatever we can do to support Black businesses, small businesses, businesses in the inner city. Let's do it. Let's do it. So give me a like or love if you will commit that over the next 5 days that you are going to purchase something from a Black business, that you are, whatever you were going to get at Walmart, you're going to find a Black business. You're going to buy something from Macy's, you're going to find a Black business. You're going to go to Starbucks, you're going to find a cafe. Give me a like or love that in the next 5 days, you're going to shop Black. You're going to shop small business. I need you to support these businesses and join me in this 5-day challenge for the next 5 days that you're going to shop Black. Shop somewhere Black, which might require you to look on the internet, might require you to look at your Black networks and resources and find out who sells the products that you need, but just some of the products. Now, if you could do 100%, that'd be great, but at least commit to shopping somewhere Black so that you can build for yourself the habit of being cognizant about recirculating your dollar. You know, we've done in past shows that the Black dollar, only pennies on the dollar recirculates in the Black community, but whole dollars circulate in Jewish communities and other communities. Let's circulate our dollars in our community. Look at the businesses in your communities that are shuttering. Have you seen for lease signs? Have you seen those signs? I've seen them. Where businesses used to be. Some of that is because we're not supporting them and they can't tide over with staff and overhead without you supporting their business. Keep them coming. I see more names coming. Carla Walker, Miller Energy Service, Residential Home Energy Efficient Assessments. Thank you. Administrative Assistant Support and Crisis Management, Karen Poole. Thank you so much. Tamuk says that's his everyday habit. Crystal Rice, Sonia Weaver, Charlotte Anthony. Drop the name of their businesses. Shop Black, Eat Black, support Black, Black services. Absolutely. And let's join Love and Stuff over these next 5 days as a start. Start a habit and roll it into the next year. That when you are thinking about your purchases, think about how you can invest in Black businesses in your communities, in your cities, and then let's see what we can do to turn that money over. And turn that money over in the way, say to them, hey, you know, when you go in a store, you know, it could be the human resources in me, but when you go in the store and you see a help wanted sign, say, hey, I know a young Black brother or sister. Can I recommend them? Start to get them to thinking that they should be accountable back to you for your patronage of them. Hey, who's your heating and cooling guy for this place? I know so-and-so. See, one of my favorite things is to connect people. So that's the natural thing I'm doing. When I'm meeting somebody, I'm thinking, now, how can I connect them to this person who does heating and cooling? Not so they can throw me a bone. They seldom do. But because it feels good to know that I'm able to connect people to people who love what they do. And so if we make that a part of what we do on a regular basis, I think we'll start to see more of our dollars circulate in our community. Karen Humboldt Williams says she's the owner of Complete Success University, LLC, focusing on educating our community with effective ways to properly producing and maintaining a credit-worthy lifestyle with education in areas of credit restoration, taxes, and business and business formation. Thank you for that, Karen. I hope I pronounced your first name correctly. Drop your contact information there. All right. Yep, if a Black church is caring for the community, support it too. And I have to just extend it for all of those small businesses and community organizations that are in the community that also help Black people. Some of them might be of a slightly different ethnicity, and some of them might be multi-ethnic, right? Multicultural. But start to support the people who support your people, and then support your people, and then hold your people accountable to continue supporting your people by investing in vendors that are also in the city. So if the place needs a heating and cooling, if they need windows, if they need a plumber, you follow what I'm saying? They need a supplier for their condiments. All of those things, there should be a whole network that you're building in the supply chain, and you help to do that within your circle of influence. And I'm just challenging you to join me in these next 5 days, not as an end, but as a start to get us to be just a little more mindful. I know some are so mindful, but just to be mindful as a collective of our power in cooperative economics. Pierre Robinson Credit Restoration, Bernard Alexander, owner of Spago Therapy. Thank you, Charlotte Anthony. Oh, wonderful. Travel to Play. Thank you so much. We may have to partner with you and Jay Gerald on our mock wedding that we're going to try to do if you know COVID is resolved to an extent where we can have people come in, but we're planning to do a big mock wedding event toward the end of the summer, and hopefully we'll be able to do that in person. If not, we'll have to push it back until it's safe. Monique Lee, Keller Williams, real estate agent. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so you've dropped names in there. I've invited a few folks to join me. I'm waiting for them to join me. As we pivot, I just want you to, round of applause for all of these businesses. Put fire emojis and hand clap emojis in there for me, please. Will you please to just applaud all of these businesses and cheer them on to a prosperous close of their year and opening of a new year, that there are customers that will support them. All right, I need you to put some fire in the comment section. Absolutely. Mason Tone, clothing design, I tagged her earlier, and all of these businesses. Thank you, Crystal, for putting that fire sign and claps. I need everybody to put that in the comments. Let's cheer on these businesses. Fire signs and claps. The fire, you know, when something's fire, you say, that's fire. Let's put that on, and hopefully it drives the engagement of people that are in and around your circle of influence. As we pivot, I want to share with you, I'm going to go to a quick commercial and share with you, again, one of our folks within the Love and Stuff community. And then we're going to come back and talk to you a little bit about these 36 questions that lead to love.
Welcome to Powerful Money Tools, LLC. At Powerful Money Tools, we are here to prepare for your future. We want to talk about financial freedom. Financial freedom is budgeting, credit building, and also financial education. So once again, welcome to Powerful Money Tools, LLC. We can't wait to help you in your financial future.
And that was Christina Smith. She is a member of our Love and Stuff community. She will be featured in a special presentation on January 27th from the Love and Stuff community, helping you to get your financial fitness together, your physical and mental and emotional and social fitness together. And we will give you more details about the tickets when those tickets will be available for you to join. Thank you, Christina Smith, for your support and patronage. I want to talk to you a little bit about these 36 questions that lead to love. And just about 5 decades or so ago, there were 2 young psychology students at the University of California in Berkeley, Arthur Aaron and Elaine Spalding, that they decided to do some research. They shared a kiss, and they say they immediately fell in love. That was what they said. They had a fascination with each other. I'm too excited, it appears. And then they were fascinated around this mystery that they called love. And so they started to do a study on romantic love. And they paired strangers together in kind of what they considered a laboratory setting and gave them these questions to ask each other to see if it would cause them to like each other or possibly even fall in love with each other. So out of that group, one couple did end up falling in love and getting married in response to that. After synthesizing the questions and kind of editing and tweaking, they came up with 36 questions. And this was viral in the New York Times in 2015. It had this irresistible headline, "To fall in love with anyone, do this." I didn't want to put that headline out tonight because I don't want to have to make up a disclaimer because you may or may not fall in love. But I thought it was interesting. And they gave these series of questions that they say if you ask sequentially, it takes you through a journey of learning that other person and opening yourself up to that other person. So I'm going to share it as a Word document for anybody that inboxes me on the Love and Stuff page. Of course, I want you to click follow when you do that, but you can find it in other places. But I wanted tonight to ask I asked a few people in our Love and Stuff community to take some look at some of the questions and to see which questions really stood out to them. And I want to talk to them a little bit about the questions that stood out to them. So I'm hoping that you will welcome them. I'm waiting on a couple of them to join us. I sent the link for them. All right, giving them a second. All right, I'm telling them, come on in. And it's a list of 36 questions. You can do it with your current partner, or with a stranger that you meet. Now, one of the things that the psychologist cautioned is don't skip around so much. So they're grouped in settings because you don't want to share too many things too quickly with people. Only as you get through these questions, and of course, as the responses make you feel comfortable to delve more and more, you should go deeper and deeper into the questions. All right, so they are coming in, some of them. Now it looks like I'm coming in twice. So somebody then got me on a different device. Who got me on another device? Who is that? Okay, I see Christina, and then I see myself again on a different device. So that's interesting because I didn't bring myself in again. Okay, so I'm
Hold on 1 second.
going
That
to
might be
join
me.
us.
Is it just us?
Fantastic.
Hold on a second. I want to go out and come back in because it's probably mine.
Okay, yes, please do, and come back in.
Okay.
All right, very good. Okay, that's Christina. She'll rejoin us in a second, along with a few others. Yep, I think that was Christina. That must have been it. It was doubling. Okay. So I hope you will click share and tag someone. This is going to get interesting. Now, I'm not going to read all 36 questions, right? But if you want to use these 36 questions, again, this was a study by a psychologist. It became very popular. It was published in the American Psychological or Psychology Association Journal, probably American Psychological Journal. Probably that's what I probably should say. And so it's a scholarly article, but it hasn't been studied across cultures across the world. So I don't know that they're in a position to say that it is science at its most relevant utilization today, which means you may not apply all of it today and expect that you're going to marry that person. Not everybody that went through it got married, but I think it's a great exploration of the journey. And I think it would be great. I think it would be great. All right. It'd be great. Okay, let's see if Christina has joined us back. Great for you to use as a tool and a resource. Yep, she is joining us back. Hello, Christina Smith.
Hello, sir.
How are
Marcus.
you?
I'm blessed. Doing good.
Wonderful. I see the Christmas tree behind you.
Yeah, it's there. I'm gonna take it down very soon.
Well, mine is not in my backdrop, but it is here. And
Okay.
I don't take it down until the day after New Year's.
New Year's. That's what I do.
My father would say it should be down by New Year's, but bless his memory, I have forsaken that. I believe I done paid for this tree because I always get a new a live tree. I paid for this tree and it's gonna stay up and get all the usage out of it. So I enjoy
Period,
that.
Pooh.
I
thought your tree was beautiful, especially the people that decorated it.
I'm telling you, it was so beautiful. I made a Christmas card with them. So they were upset because I made them make a Christmas card, but they really did a great job. I'm so pleased with them. Yeah, I had to make them do a Christmas card, but thank you so much for that.
I have a couple of businesses I want to shout out, and all three is from the same person.
Oh, okay. And you're going to drop them in the comments as well, right?
Thanks for having me on. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so this young lady, a co-worker of mine a very long time ago when I was younger, and we worked at Bound Financial Print Company downtown Detroit, and she's still with the company.
Okay.
They laid a lot of people off, and she's very high value there, and she got promoted again. But however, beside that blessing, she does, and I heard about some butters and creams and stuff earlier. I wrote that down because I love those businesses, but she has one as well.
Okay.
It's called Lux Cream. I'll put. I took some snapshots of her Instagram. I'm going to put them on the chat part. Fantastic. And then you can read them off, because it has all her information. But it's Lux Cream, LUXE. Look with my glasses. Cream Collection.com.
Okay.
Her name is Lasonda, and she also has a jewelry line, which is African Black women are dope.
Oh,
Okay,
wonderful. That's nice.
they're African. She does beads. She's been doing this for probably over 8 years.
Okay.
She does all the healing beads where you dip them in the some kind of a medicine oil and it soothes your arthritis and stuff. So she does a lot
Okay.
with the beads, and the jewelry is all African related and Black.
Okay.
Then she also has a company that is called Beautiful Scenery,
Okay.
and I put the information for you to read off, but she does her own decorations and she decorates halls and events and everything by herself. So
Wonderful.
she has three thriving, blessed, wonderful business that she has started on her own from the ground up. She's still doing it, and she's moving up in the corporate ladder as a Black woman in there doing her kicking the doors down. And I'm proud of her because we used to just be sitting next to each other typing, and kikiing and laughing in a little. Now she corporate, so
Wonderful.
I give it
Wonderful.
up. But yeah, and I was sporting her. I wanted to sport that because I have a lot of her jewelry. That,
Okay.
she caters to men, women, and children.
Fantastic. Yes, make sure you drop that in the comments. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in Tamook Scruggs to join us. And Christina, you looked at some of the questions also. And so I'm gonna go to the ones that you said that stuck out to you as ones that you would ask.
Yes.
And so the first set of questions are really supposed to be questions to open up the process to get you to learn a little bit more about the person. The second ones are supposed to get you to be a little more transparent and vulnerable. So I thought it was interesting that you chose that second set where it gets to kind of more vulnerability and transparency. And so
Yes.
one of the questions that you said that you could see yourself asking, you said, if a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know? And I wanted to ask you, why is that an important question to you?
Because a lot of people actually, you have goals and you see yourself. You can vision, a lot of people can vision themselves in the future and all that. So, what if it wasn't like that? Like, would you take a different turn? Would you do a different educational field or career? Like, that one is like that. And also, what what is your curiosity in the future, like, with a single woman, or am I going to be married in 5 years, am I going to have children? Sometimes people that have an illness, they want to see, if they had an accident, they're having problems with their limbs, am I going to live, am I going to walk again? So it might be a curiosity that might give you a motivation, a push,
Mhm.
or a lifestyle change.
Okay.
So what if you see yourself in the future having health problems? What would you do now? Would you stop smoking? Would you eat more healthier, exercise? So what would that do to a person to see actually, wow, this is how my life is going to be in 10 years?
Got it. And then your second question, you said that you feel comfortable asking, or it stood out to you among the top three. You said, is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it? Why would that be an important question for you?
I have read a lot of motivational books and listened to a lot of motivational speakers.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that they kind of help you direct your mind to. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like if you had the opportunity to, if this was your last, you went to the doctor and they said, listen, you got 7 days to live,
Mm-hmm.
what would you do? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, would you take that leap if that was the case? So what are you afraid of?
Mm-hmm.
What is making you hold back? Because I've done that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
from doing something that you always wanted to do, because usually that's something you're born to do. Usually that is your passion. So why not take the leap? What
Okay.
would be what would be the worst?
Okay. And then your third one was, what is the greatest accomplishment of your life? And why would that be important for you to ask?
Because I got that from Ayana, and
Mhm,
she was saying, I was, because I follow a lot of her meditations and things like that and read her
mhm,
books, and she basically was saying like there's a difference. People call things accomplishments and people call things like I got awards, I graduated, I graduated from college, I have these awards, I have done these things. Is that an accomplishment, or is that something that a task that you took care of?
mhm,
So a lot of people, there's a difference between an accomplishment and actually checking something off your list. So to me, an accomplishment is something that I've dreamed of, I've always wanted to do. It's something for me. It's something part of my passion. But some people take it as, let me check this off the list and now I'm a doctor. Was that what you always wanted to do?
mm.
Or is that something someone else wanted you to do? So what are your greatest accomplishments?
Got it. Okay. And Tamuk, your question is in set one, question four. You said, what would constitute a perfect day for you? Why is that a question that would be important for you to ask?
That would be an important question for me because it gives me an idea of what you're really looking for and how you plan to go about or the setup of that particular outcome. And that causes that allows me to see what type of critical thinking you have and how you process things and how you plan out things. Uh,
Mhm,
so those and being able to express that because a lot of people can't. People just be like, oh, I just came, I just came to see, what was going on and see what you were like. And a lot of times, in being so vague, it's a precursor to a lot of times to people not really being serious about a relationship. You can tell a lot by what a person says and how they plan for the perfect day versus just having a good dinner. So
so not
that's a really
perfect
good
date,
question for me.
but perfect day.
Well, I'm saying even in for me, a perfect day would include that day. If I'm, looking at love and trying to create a love relationship, the perfect day would include that date.
Mhm.
So all
Okay.
of that would
I,
be a part.
I just wanted to make sure you were clear on the question. It was asking about a perfect day. It
Oh
could
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right.
I got day versus DATE. I got that. That's when I went to DPS, but I can still read that.
Well, I just wanted to make sure it sounded like your response was more to date, but I follow now that you've clarified. I think I follow.
It was like together. I
Yeah,
follow you. It
I'm
was like
following you a lot better.
All right.
Okay. And so that was in the first set. So is that a question that you would ask when you first meet someone? Is that a question that you ask when you first meet someone?
Uh, it depends on how long of a conversation and how much time we spent after we meet. Because I've met some people and we spent the entire day and ended up spending an entire weekend together.
Hmm.
But I've met some people that, hey, I met them, got their phone number, and never heard from them or never saw them again. So it just depends on the amount of and length of contact.
Got it. And just as a follow up to that, in your initial meeting of someone, is this a question that you would ask them if it was your initial meeting and it wasn't a weekend long meeting? You have a meeting with them. Is this something that you would purpose to ask on when you first meet someone?
Nah, before I get into all the interview questions, I'm just trying to see, how responsive you are to um, us meeting and then having some type of follow up conversation or contact. But kind of gauge your interest before I hit you with all the deep questions.
Interesting, because I'm just curious. So you say follow up. when you first meet someone and there is that initial attraction, you're not starting to interview. No?
No, because well, it would depend on the environment and the situation that came about for us to meet. Because if I just meet you at the gas station or the corner store, that's different than me meeting you at an event where there's some social activities going on, where there's interaction being fostered. So that type of situation, those questions would come up depending on what the situation was and how we met.
Interesting. Christina, what about you? The same thing?
I have a question.
Well, I'm asking. So I'm trying to find out.
I'm sorry, I had a client, excuse me, that was calling me. I let them know I was on here.
I got it. And thank you for acquiescing some of your time to us. So when you're first meeting someone, does the interview begin as soon as you have some initial connection, or do you, like to look, have a subsequent time depending on what that interaction is like? Does the interview begin at some subsequent point?
Man, it depends. You have to feel the vibe of the person.
So that's what I'm saying. If you connect to that person,
okay. So if you do,
there is a connection. Does the interview start then, or does it start at some point subsequent?
I want to say then.
Okay. I'm always fascinated
because I'm interested in you. I want to talk. Like, I want to get to know you. I want to know how you get them brown eyes, or whatever. With your mama, is everybody okay? Life, how's your credit? I mean, I don't know. I'm popping off real quick. That's my personality though, because I want to start telling you about me. Like I want it back and forth. I want to see me. My purpose is I want to know, can we communicate? It's more to the investigation or the getting to know is, can this person communicate? Can this person hold a conversation? What is this person interested in talking about? So it has a lot more than just like an initial, what did you call, like an interview. It's more to that stage. If a woman really is interested in somebody, she in my age is looking for a little bit more of a long term. So of course I'm going to start early because I want to get this process moving so that we can get moving. So why wait? Life is short.
Christina. Okay. Christina, I got a question for you.
Before you ask that question, Bilal, join us, because you got subsequent in the comments, but you have the link in your inbox. So you're supposed to be here, brother. You're supposed to be here instead of the comments in the comments. All right, Bilal, what's your question? Okay, Bilal, can you hear us? Okay, well, while he's doing that, whatever is happening, I think it's my fascination with people that, and maybe it's the recruiter in me, the human resources in me, when I meet someone initially, the interview begins. And that interview really is, I mean, it might not be as formal as people think of when they think of interview, but I'm always, and maybe because, again, my vocation has had some interrogatories and interview and inquisition and questioning, but I'm always interested to learn, one, who are you? Two, are you who you say you are? And three, how connected or how much in common do I have with you? Or am I meant to connect you to something or someone else?
Okay, I'm going to give you an example because it just happened to me. Okay. This is a great example.
And one second, I'm just trying to make sure, Tamuk, are you frozen? Because it looks like you're moving, but you're not responding.
I'm waiting on my question.
No, I was just letting you talk for a second, Marcus. So no, I'm not frozen. And
thank you for letting me.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate you. This your show and all, so I figure you run this. So, but Christina, if you could wake up tomorrow with any type of superpower, which one would it be?
Now, Tamuk, I thought you didn't want to ask that question. I thought you didn't want to, so I'm
I'll
not going to let
take
you
it.
slide it in.
Oh man.
I'm
Hey,
not going
well,
to let
you
you
know,
slide it
we
in.
just met. I'm trying to. He
I'm
said
not
she
going to let
trying
you
to pop
slide
it
it
off,
in.
bro. So
No, no, for the love of self community. I gave them a choice of questions, and Tamuk
I'm
gave me
not.
a hard time about questions. So now I ain't going to let him ask no questions. No,
This
no,
is show. This is show.
no.
This is his show.
I
He
asked you ahead
did.
of
He
time,
was
and you
stern. It
told
was
me
about
you
5:30.
absolutely would not ask any of these questions, and now
It
you
was about
asked them.
5:30 because he kept the phone bing bing. So I was there. It was about
Go ahead,
5:30.
Christina. Answer his question. Go ahead.
Okay. So if I had tomorrow I woke up with a superpower, what would I want it to be? Right.
right.
So I'm going to say the ability to feed the homeless and heal the sick.
Okay, that would be your
Why,
superpower.
why,
Okay.
why you bow your head like that though?
Cause
She blushed
that's
when
a
she
prayer.
said that.
I was
Did you
like,
see that?
it was to Jesus. Like
No.
that's a superpower I wish I had for real.
Yeah, I'm
Because I know
actually now.
people
All
that
right.
actually do. Well, listen, I know people that do it, essential workers and such. So I mean, it can mean anything, a nurse or whatever. But I'm saying, that was a prayer. I'm serious.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay. All right.
now,
All right.
because Bilal is commenting in the comments and not joining us, he is also being
Oh, come on,
recalcitrant,
man.
like Tamuk. They're both recalcitrant today. Um,
I
I'm
like
gonna
that
go.
word right there.
I'm going to go to the questions, and I'm going to ask each of you the questions to get your responses for some of the questions. Now, the psychologists say ask all of these sequentially, ask them in order because it's supposed to build in the comment, but I'm not going to ask 36 questions tonight. What I'm going to do is
Bless you.
take
God bless you.
a few of the questions from each section and see how you might answer them. And I want the other person to give the other person feedback. Do you feel like they were being truthful? Did you see something in the body language, just like Tamuk said? Tamuk said, Christina, in your body language, you dropped your head. So let me know if you have any observations and what those observations make you feel when you're going through the questions. Bilal, if you're not going to join us, sir, I don't want your answers. You're being recalcitrant. Okay, let's go to the questions.
Ooh,
Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? Anyone in the world. Now, Tamuk, I'm gonna need your attention. Anyone in the world, who would you want as a dinner guest?
dead
Christina,
or alive?
anyone in the world, dead or alive, who would you want
Oh, okay.
as a dinner guest?
Come on now. Come on now. It take all that. You got to
Well,
really think
give
that
her a
hard.
second. Give her a second.
I'm thinking
She's got a
for real.
lot of choices. Jesus
That's
might
a
be at the
lot.
top of the list. He has, give her a second.
I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it current. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Okay.
Kamala Harris.
Okay.
My
And,
cousin.
and why would you want Kamala Harris as a dinner guest out of all the people in the world?
She could be an influential person for me at this time in the time that I am in my life. So I'm gonna make it selfish. So she is the future. She breaks records right now. This is the status I want to be at. So I'm looking to be under a mentorship or a I'm thinking about my future and my legacy and my, leaving an inheritance. So she would be someone currently, like some people might say Michelle Obama, some people might say Jesus, I don't know, but I'm saying like currently the stage I am in my life with the business ownership and being very proud of, being a good mom. I'm gonna give myself some kudos and uplifting others and trying to do the best I can with what I have. I think she would give me a push in my life to be a better Black businesswoman
Okay. And Tamuk.
and family woman.
Tamuk, out of all the people in the world, who would you select as your dinner guest, dead or alive?
Dead or alive. Well, I have two because I've had this
Just one.
conversation before.
Just
So
one. The
okay,
question is just one.
all all
Make
right.
it easy.
Then that would have to be the first Pope of the Vatican.
Okay. And why?
Well, I want to know. I want to know the secrets that are being hidden in Vatican City. The library that's not accessible to other folks.
Mhm,
Because I'm a thinker, so I want to know all the things that nobody else gets to know, and I want to
mhm,
be able to sit down with the person that controls that, so I
mhm.
can try to use my customer service skills
Okay. And
to,
so
to
let me
find out some things.
just as follow up to you both, Christina, how important is it for you to be with someone who wants to help you, who wants to add to you?
Because I want to pass. It's important for me to learn this to pass it on myself. I have a daughter and
Mhm,
she has friends and I have nieces and they have babies and they
mhm,
girls. So I want to be the what do you want to call that's why I call my notary business Empire Mobile Notary, because I literally before the show came out wanted to build an empire for my children, and for myself. I mean, I want to be selfish for that because God gave me the gift to be patient with people and see what kind of needs they have with
mhm.
the education and whatever talent he's given me. But it's not just the business; it's my character, my character, the way I carry myself, and the way I know customer satisfaction. So to me, it's important because I see these icons like Michelle Obama and Senator Harris that they are people I'm looking up to. So who's looking up to me?
Yeah.
So that's
So
important to me.
let me ask it a little differently. How important is it for the person that you will be with in a relationship?
Oh,
How
okay.
important is it to you that that person adds value to you or helps you? Not the dinner date, but someone that
Okay.
you're in a relationship with.
That they add to
To you as an
to
individual.
me. This is a different question. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Okay, so to me, oh man. Let me see how much time I have. I It's very important. Only because it's important to me. So I feel that if you help the person that you say that you have the most care about, and that means you care about their future, you care about their health, their well being, their spirit. You care about everything about that person, and you want to see them grow into what they want to be. Because
Okay.
sometimes people push themselves on, like, oh, I think you should do this and you be good at that. Well, why? You should support what that person, what they
Okay.
want to do.
Okay. And Tamuk, as a follow-up to your response, how important is it to you that the person that you're with appreciates that you're a thinker?
So that's going to be very important because if a person doesn't appreciate that, then that's probably because they're either at odds with me being the type of thinker that I am, or they just don't care. And either way, that's not somebody that I would need in my life because again, I like my mate to be somebody that we push each other to be better. And being able to critically think is part of that. So, I'm from the street, so I had to come up out of that. So in order to do that, you have to be able to problem solve. And if you can't problem solve, you can't critically think, and then you can't challenge and or be challenged, we won't grow as a couple.
Does that
Well, we can't
validate
grow
you
to
in
our
some way?
great.
Does it
Say
validate
that.
you in
I'm sorry.
some way? Does it validate you in some
No, I
way?
don't look. No, because my validation comes from within. So it doesn't. It's not gonna make me or break me. It's just that it's appreciated because I know that everything that I'm going to give is something that I hope somebody else will pour into me. And if not, I'm gonna live regardless. But and to be my best self, I want to be with somebody who's trying to be their best self. So we can, like I said, so we can grow together.
Got it. Next question. For what in your life do you feel most grateful? To Mook. For what in your life do you feel most grateful?
Yams.
Okay. Christina. For
Uh,
what in your life do you feel most grateful?
I'm going to say life itself.
So what in your life though? What in your life do you feel most grateful?
I feel most grateful that, and I'm going to get religious here and spiritual.
You can get as religious or spiritual or non, however.
So
It's you.
I feel most grateful that I am saved, that I experienced this year what I asked for, which was a closer walk in my spiritual walk with God, and He delivered it to me, and I'm so grateful for that because with that is different. It's many fruits that comes with that, unlimited, and so I also ask God to help me, wherever I go, to use me to talk to people, like not but make me available to someone that might want you, God, for them to have a closer walk or to help them. Because I've come across some very hurt people. Like you were saying, your favorite coffee shop and stuff. I go to I'm just gonna put the dollar, the G one, Dollar General. And there's a woman that was there and she was always complaining and she was in pain, older woman. And I just stopped her. I said, listen, she's like, you're so sweet. You always here laughing and making us joke. Because they know me when I come in. That's my place. That's my spot. So I didn't pray for her to intimidate, like just stop and pray for her. But in my spirit, I gave her the dap with the arm. And I said, because this woman out here hurt and working. It hurt me. So when the next time I saw her, I prayed at home. But the next time I saw her, she told me she felt great. She told me that she had to get some like medical socks or something, and she didn't have to have surgery like she thought. I mean, I was filled because I was like, wow,
Yeah.
God heard me.
Okay.
He gave her comfort. So that I asked for that, and He delivered.
Fantastic. Follow up to you, Tamuk, on your yams, which I think is probably your guttural response. Would you have said yams in a first meeting with somebody that you just met?
I have, yeah.
What was the response?
They laughed like Christina did.
Okay, they knew what you meant by it.
By yams?
Yeah, I think they did.
And they laughed like Christina did. And
I don't know if
how did the conversation end?
Oh, I mean, we actually ended up having a good long conversation afterward.
So how did it
That led,
end? How did
no,
it end?
it actually ended with us going out a couple of times and becoming great friends.
So the conversation ended with you going out a couple of times. How did the conversation end that day? Do you remember?
It ended with her telling me that I was funny.
Got it.
And she looked forward to talking with me again. So
got it.
that's
If you
what we
could
did.
change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
Lord, you hit me well, Marcus. Let me see. If I could change the way I was raised, what would it be? Around so many boys.
Okay.
I'm the only girl and I'm the youngest.
Okay.
I mean, it's a flip side to it. I'm a daddy's girl and he took care of me, and I got what I wanted. But yeah, I think my sister is older than I, and by the time I came, we have the same birthday. By the time I came, she was gone. She was, on her own. So I
Okay.
didn't have a sister at home, even though I had a sister. So it's awkward to me. I'm going to say why I chose that, because fast forward to now, I've had to work on our closeness
Hmm.
because we were never close when I was young. Um,
Okay.
and now she wants to be close as I'm older, which I'm fine with, but it's awkward. But
Okay.
that would change that. I would have a sister at home and less boys.
Okay. And Tamuk, what one thing would you change if you could about the way you were raised?
I think that would probably have to be just. I don't know if it would necessarily be me, but I think it would be more of the environment that I was raised in, and that having my parents stay together, or having a positive, healthy family unit would probably be what I would change. Uh,
Okay.
but that's pretty much it, 'cause
Okay.
it's hard for one parent to raise multiple kids uh, properly, especially when you're not in a financial position to to afford all the things that multiple children will need and their interests. So that would probably be it. Just
Okay.
the family dynamic.
Okay. All right. Bilal Muhammad is joining us. Hello, sir. I'm going to the second set of questions, even though you were typing answers to your questions. Comments.
Well, I sent them to you, Marcus.
I understand, but I wanted you to be on the screen and participate like everybody else. Thank you so much, sir.
I was busy, sir.
I
My
understand.
apologies.
I understand. I understand. Um, what is the greatest accomplishment of your life? I'll start with you, Bilal. What would you say is the greatest accomplishment of your life?
Good.
Man, why you put me on the spot? What's up, Tamuk?
Welcome to the
What's
club.
going on, brother?
Hey, Christina. The greatest accomplishment of my life. Man, see, I have a few, and I can't
The
just.
greatest. The
But
greatest.
okay,
Love Grant is number one.
but you know what? I'm gonna have to, plagiarize a little bit, because I think the greatest accomplishment of my life is when I actually pretty much gave my life over to Christ.
Okay.
There was it's an anointing that actually came over my life at that point, because previous to that, just give you a quick history. My mom was Baptist, my dad was Muslim. So I had the privilege to see what both sides looked like. And I was able to make a choice. And, so when I became an adult, I like bean pies and gospel music. Okay, whatever. But as an adult, I basically got closer to God.
Mhm.
And once I turned my life over, things looked a little different, and things started happening a little different. And I hate to say it, but my struggles were different. So
Okay. Tamuk, what would you say was your greatest accomplishment in life?
Um, living past 18, living past 18. That's probably my greatest accomplishment. 'Cause it was looking kind of rough for a minute, but yeah,
Okay.
that was probably it.
Okay. And Christina, what would you say was your greatest accomplishment in life?
Doing what I dreamed I do, which is be a business owner.
Mhm. Okay. The next question is I'm kind of combining two. They're pretty close. What do you value most in a friendship, and what does friendship mean to you, Tamuk?
That's a good one.
Much the security of it, being a real friend. Not just you here today, gone tomorrow. Then if you are here today, gone tomorrow, nothing changes between us. I got some friends that I haven't seen in 10 years, but I know if I call them right now and say, hey, I just wanted to check on you. They were, man, I was just thinking about you. Or, hey, man, I need $1,000. You got Cash App, and you got PayPal, and they gonna shoot that to me. And it ain't gonna be no questions. It ain't gonna be no, well, when can I get it back? It ain't, bro. I got you, no problem here. get it back to me when you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. And what was the second part of that question? That
So I'm
that
going to
kind of
make
hit me.
sure I follow the answer. Is that the thing that you value the most, that your friends are always there, even though time might
Yeah,
separate you or space? Is that what you value
yeah,
most?
yeah, yeah,
Okay. And so then
yeah. I
what would,
think that is.
okay. And what would you say then that friendship means to you? What does it mean to you? Friendship means,
Uh, Friendship for me means just your being your honest and true self without any expectation of having to worry about it being uh, reciprocated with some type of attachments to it. Uh, we just cool. That's what the friendship is. No matter what we going through, we gonna always work to. It's like a relationship without sex, basically. That's what a friendship is with me.
okay. Christina.
That way it allows men to be in the equation. You know what I'm saying? That way it don't get funny.
Christina.
Yes, Marcus.
Same question.
Okay.
What do you value most about friendship? And then what does friendship mean to you?
What I value most about friendship is loyalty. And what friendship means to me is that you first of all, I've always been taught by some old school people, let's say seasoned folk, that if you okay, so you got blood, right? You stuck to blood. You were born into that, but you can pick your friends. So if I picked you, you're special to me. And I'm special to you. So that's how it usually is for me. I just linked back up with a friend. As a matter of fact, it's funny, I got examples for almost everything because I've been going through a lot of changes, but I just reached out to a friend I haven't talked to in 2 years, and I love her. And she was like, "Oh my God, I found her email. Her phone number. I emailed her. She emailed me back. I'm crying. I love you." And we've been talking ever since. Kiki. So because I choose her. She's special to me. You know what I mean? So that means a lot to have a friend.
Okay. And Bilal, what do you value most about friendship? And then what does friendship mean to you?
Trust, because you got to be able to trust your friend. And just like Tamuk said, you can call somebody up and it's like, hey, no time has passed. And even with trust comes a whole lot of different things: integrity, you know loyalty, all that's kind of wrapped in. So if my friend calls me and say they have a situation going over, I got your back. you know Being in a 25-year marriage, my wife was my friend, so no matter what, I had her back. you know um Friends I haven't seen that live out of state can call and say, this is what I need. I got your back and I trust you. And we trust each other to know that we can share our most deepest thoughts, our most deepest situations, and know that you're not going to judge me the next time that you see me. Because like Christina said, family is blood, blood thicker than water, whatever. But when you have a friend, a true friend, like I tell my daughter, you know, I get my true friends right here. I have no more than that. And actually, it might even be less than 10. But your true friends will be there for you for the rest of your life, and you know who they are.
Okay. All right. Next question. And I'm only going to have three more. Our senior associate producers reminded me it's 10:04. What is your most terrible memory? What's your most terrible memory?
I'm gonna bow out of this question, Marcus. So I'm done.
Your most terrible memory.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say my most terrible memory is my brothers used to torture me. Don't call CPS on because they grown. But I'm saying, man, that's why I was like,
So what's the most terrible? Can you share the most terrible?
I'm going to tell you the most
Oh,
terrible. It's
okay.
embarrassing, but I'm going to tell it because it happened. And you got to get over your fears. But
Okay.
I was a snitch. I admit it. I used to snitch on my brothers, and I did. And my parents was out of town on conference. Pastor and Miss Smith, they was out of town in Chicago, and they had girls at the house. I'm snitching, and yeah, girls over here, and they heard me, and they pinned me down and tickled me till I peed on myself. I was so furious. I wanted to get a knife, a gun, a bomb, and everything to get rid of them. And I was like, Dad, are you sure these your kids? And I'm the only kid. You know, they adopted. So I just wouldn't have no parts of them after that. But yeah, they held me down because I'm very ticklish and I had an accident.
Okay.
That was a very horrible memory. And as
Thank you.
horrible
Thank
as
you
it
for
was,
the,
I mean, it never leaves me. You know what I mean? Because I was
yeah.
so like, I wanted to get with them.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. Now,
You're
Bilal, what
welcome.
I liked in that you said, even though you're still recalcitrant, what I liked in that you said, it feels to me that maybe you would not want to be dishonest, and that's why you bowed out. Because you could have easily told us the second terrible one, and we would
We
not
would
have
have never
known.
known.
But you said, you know what, I'm gonna bow out, which made me think that you might have some honesty about you. Maybe.
I may be an honest brother, Marcus. You know,
Yeah.
hence my reputation.
Maybe. Maybe. But I'm gonna come back to you for maybe the second most terrible. To Muck, what's the most terrible memory that you have?
My most terrible memory I had was a friend of mine that I went to high school with, uh, passed during a road trip on the Underground Railroad for the Rosa Parks program. Uh, he had always been somebody who was about community. Uh, this was Rosa Parks' godson, and even as we were in high school, he just was always about community and helping uplift black people and black folks and educating black folks. And he was one of the guys that I really loved, and they helped part of the organization, uh, part of the group of guys that were founding members of Positive Brothers of today, and that continued on into his adult life. And he continued that process in trying to educate kids in the Underground Railroad in that path. And the bus driver of the bus fell asleep at the wheel. Bus went over the side, and in the process, uh, he ended up helping to save everybody on the bus, but he was the only person that perished, and that has always hurt my heart because I knew how great of an individual he was in the short time that he was alive, and he had just had a daughter, and she never really got to know herself, know herself, know him, and that fueled me to really.
We lost him.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Wow.
At
was a
such at
tragedy.
such a poignant, transparent story. I think. Oh, here he
Being in
comes
their
back.
life
I think
and
he's having
to
some. He's having those Mama V kind of challenges. Tamuk, you're back. You were saying
okay,
she never got a chance to really know her father. Is his name Sean? Was his name Sean?
that is absolutely right. He's a Murray
Yeah,
Wright pilot. That's right,
yeah. I remember
Sean
Sean.
Brown.
Yep, I do
Yeah,
remember Sean. Yeah.
Sean was an original Positive Brothers of today, and
Mhm.
like I said, that was something that we had all talked about, and because we had lost another brother really close right after that, those two deaths together really hurt my heart, but they really have propelled me to being the man that I am today, along with Ewell Allen. But everybody know Ewell, so
You. Yeah.
but we had a great group of guys, but that that has always pushed me. Pretty much now, everything that I do, as far as Positive Brothers of today, and being community minded and helping to mentor young men, is based on those characteristics that they had instilled and put into me. So that was it.
Okay. I'm going to the next set of questions. Last two questions, actually, from set 3. And this is from a document, if you're joining us, 36 questions that lead to love. I'll be happy to share it with you if you inbox me Love and Stuff. You can also find it online. It was from a psychology study that was done about strangers coming together and the questions that they could ask sequentially that would lead them to more connected and transparent experience and potentially to love. I'm in set 3, and of course, we're not asking all 36 questions, but we're here with Bilal Muhammad, Tamuk Scruggs, and Christina Smith to ask them a few of the questions. They got a chance to see some of these questions beforehand and shared some of the questions that they would respond to, and now I'm asking them a few more. And so one of the last questions, I wish I had someone with whom I could share, finish that phrase. I wish I had someone with whom I could share what? Tamuk?
Yeah.
I wish I had someone I could share old people times with.
When you say old people times, what elaborate?
I got a saying, when I talk to people about looking at starting relationships, I say you better find you somebody you can do old people stuff with. And that just means walking together in the grocery store, holding hands, fussing about whether you're gonna get Gruyere or mozzarella, picking out funeral plots, burial plots, going to bingo, arguing over who gonna watch the TV, who gonna control the remote, filling up her gas, stuff like that. But stuff that you do that as a couple, as you are blessed enough to grow old together with.
Okay.
Wow.
Christina.
Give me 1 second.
I'll go because it's funny. To
My
me,
daughter just walked in for work. I have to acknowledge the people I love. Mr. Marcus. Say hi, Mr. Marcus. Hi.
Hi, beautiful.
Just got home from work.
Okay.
And the question was.
The question was, I'll repeat it to you.
Thank you.
I wish I had someone with whom I could share, finish the phrase.
I wish I had someone with whom I can share my. I got so many. I'm gonna just pick one.
Please, just one.
deepest, darkest secrets for the rest of my life.
Okay.
I can trust them with.
Okay. All right. Bilal.
she kind of took my statement was somebody who I can share the rest of our life, not mine, but our life with. That's pretty much, that encompasses what Tamuk said. And I like that he said old people's times, and it's just looking forward to the future, man. Grandbabies or watching kids like grow up and stuff like that. So just somebody who can share the rest of at least my life with, but our life.
Okay. All right. And then the last question.
Okay.
I'm sorry. 2 more questions. I'm sorry. 2 more. I'm sorry. Your house containing everything you own catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would it be and why? Christina.
Go ahead, Bilal. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. She gonna say them curtains.
So one item I would dash if I had a chance to come get, and the house is on fire.
Yeah, after you save your loved ones and your pets,
Yeah.
And
Okay.
dash in and say one more thing, what would it be?
The picture of my parents.
Okay. And why?
Because I only have one. And my parents aren't together. So that's the only picture I have of them together.
Okay. All right. All right. Tamuk, you're frozen. I'm not sure why.
I'm just chilling, bro. I'm here.
No, the screen is frozen. It was frozen. It's
Maybe
still
it's because you're in
I
your
don't know,
car.
man. Oh, you got jokes.
You talk about my curtains. You don't want me to cast. I told you I grew up with brothers.
okay.
I told you I grew up with brothers. We can go there.
All right, Tamuk, go ahead.
Reporting live from my car.
After saving the family, I don't know, man. I really don't. I'm not really attached to anything anymore, man. I grew up. I kind of few years back, I just kind of evolved out of being attached to anything too much, so that as long as my loved ones are out safe, everything else can be recovered. You know, I've already downloaded all my pictures to flash drives and things like that, and they're backed up in the cloud somewhere. So yeah, I just my old wedding rings, but other than that, I ain't going back in there for them. You know, I don't have nothing. I have nothing really left that, if it was to perish, that I would be too concerned about recovering. You know, it wouldn't be a loss. I'm not attached to things like that.
Okay. Allow.
But see, now you're talking to the insurance man. So, you know, I got a firebox. So after everybody get out, I'm coming back for the firebox because it has all my important papers. It has a little protection just in case I might have to roll up on something. No, I'm just joking. But it has all the things that I need.
There it is.
And so you said papers, a little something, because I believe there's some truth in every joke. So it's a gun. What else is in there?
No, but actually it has birth certificates, social security cards, you know, it has credit cards. It also has cash, you know. So again, because those are the stuff, it has like old jewelry in there, you know. So this is the stuff that I know after everybody get out and run it back to grab, because it's going to be hard to replace.
Got it. Okay. Got
so,
it. All right. Now this is the last question, I promise. Of all the people in your family, whose death would you find most disturbing and why?
Death of them curtains.
Your sweatshirt. Disturbing. That's what you're gonna go in that house and say, that sweatshirt. Most disturbing. In my family and just the world.
So let me go back to the question.
Okay.
Of all the people in your family,
Okay.
whose death would you find most disturbing and why?
I'm sorry, the lights in his car hurt my eyes. I didn't hear the question.
Understood.
The lights hurt her eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you answer the question?
I would say
you like Family Feud in a minute.
Because there's so many. The most disturbing would be my stepmother.
And why?
She, at this point, is mama dear to us. And she's a God-fearing woman, and she is a beautiful spirit. And I would probably, out of most people, including my dad and my mom, she holds a special place in my heart dearly. And she just had a grandbaby, so my bonus sister just had a baby the day after Christmas. And she went over there, cleaned the house, put the baby carriage up, thank God, crib, and she stayed the night. She's over there now. She's just a beautiful soul, and she's been through a lot of things, and I would just be devastated.
Okay. All right, Tamuk.
Oh, most disturbing. That would probably have to be. That would probably have to be one of my grandchildren. I just had my daughter just had my seventh grandchild in the beginning of October, so she made number seven. So I would think it would have to be one of those who would probably be the most disturbing for me. Um, yeah, that's about it. I ain't even got no jokes behind that. I'm just
That's real tough.
Oh, okay. Bilal.
Any one of my three children, couldn't even fathom it.
I know you got three, but most disturbing.
My child, like I said, any one of them though. So one of my children. I mean, I could throw a joke in there and say, I might be a little richer, because my expenses will go down. No, but no, any one of my three children, because you never want, a parent never should go before their child is what
That's true.
the thing is. So I don't know how I would handle any one of their deaths.
Okay. Now, those were set three questions. Are any of those questions ones that you would not ask early on in meeting someone?
I would say the sadder ones. So the ones that make people bring up maybe some memories that they might have, because a lot of people are private and discreet in the beginning, which is fair, which they should be, because they might be open to it, and because some people they just come out and they start telling you, oh man, I've had a hard life, and they go on. But if you're asking the questions, you have to kind of be careful on the ground you're walking on, because some people grieve longer than others, and some people it's hard for them to talk about that. Like I said what I said, it's not hard for me because I know that where my stepmom's going, and I know, what's behind it. But I'm saying some people can't talk about death and things like that.
Is it important for you to see that vulnerable side of someone early on, their range of emotions early on, or does that matter at all?
Well, see, Marcus, just like you asked about the tragedy, I'm not going to go into something that deep. And maybe that's a man thing, because even, if it's the first date or whatever, or we're just meeting, I'm not trying to really get that deep at that point. I don't really want to know your deepest, darkest secrets, because, once you start telling me your deepest, darkest secrets, that might make me start running. I might be out to have a good time right now. And let's just have some general conversation to see.
So the other side might not be it. So I was saying once, but you're saying the person asking it might not be able to take it. Yeah.
I mean, like Marcus just asked me about my tragedy. That's something that, honestly, and see, I could have lied, made up something, but that's why I was like, just pass on me on that one. Because that's something I didn't want to bring the whole room down talking about it.
Yeah. For me, that, and I don't know if it's a Bilal man thing, a Muhammad thing. I don't know if it's the thing, but for me, I want to know the range of emotions if there is a connection early on. I don't want to know that date number 6. I want to know if something unnerves you and how you handle something that unnerves you, or how you handle something that irritates you or agitates you. I want to know that early on. I don't want to, if there is a connection. If there's not a connection,
right,
maybe not. But if there is a connection, I want to know more of that early on, not later on. Just me.
But do you want to know that day one? I don't know.
It depends on the connection. Depends on what the connection is like. If it's a strong connection, I'm going to maybe not spend the weekend, as Tamuk said earlier, or throw in the yams question. That won't happen probably. But early on, I am going to delve more deeply if there's a strong connection. If it's not a strong connection, then maybe not. I'm not going to invest that much energy. But the
Mhm.
stronger the connection, the more I want to know about who you are, because I'm going to either invest heavily or not. But that's just me. It could be the Aries in me, because they say Aries love hard.
So there's Aquariuses. Come on.
Yeah. So
I mean, but when you think about, like I said, the level of sometimes maturity of some people. So I mean, I guess I feel what you're saying, that you want to test that out and see if I'm asking these questions, are you looking for the emotion? Are you looking for their story? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for it all, because just
Okay.
like with Bilal, Bilal told me something without telling me something, right? He said,
Mhm.
this is off limits and I'm not going to lie to you. Well, that would be pretty important to me to know up front.
True.
One, that he's not a liar. I probably would ascribe that he's not a liar. And
Mhm.
two, that he will not just let me in, right? Those are important things for me to know about somebody I'm dealing with right away. And
Yeah.
if he sent me a signal that he was lying, I want to know that right away too. I don't want to be 6 months down the road to find out, there's a whole nother something happening there. So for me, I'm looking at emotions and somebody's ability to show some emotion, maybe not fall apart, but Bilal in his own way showed me an emotion like, stop. That was an emotion that I would look for the signal in. Just
Right.
like some people deflect. You ask them a question that's uncomfortable and they go to something else. That's an emotion. And I want to see that right away, because it's telling me something about that person. And that's important to me. So I'm looking for everything. I'm looking for body language. I'm looking for lies. I'm looking for the truth. I'm looking for aggression. I'm looking for confession. I'm looking for transparency, especially if there's a strong connection.
Yeah, you looking for too much. You looking for too much there, bruh. I
Well,
just
I
seen
disagree.
And
Christina
maybe
at the
not
corner store.
enough.
I don't need to.
I don't know. Maybe not enough, because listen, I want to know how you pay your bills. Do you budget? I want to know what kind of, do you own a home? Are you
See,
renting?
that
Are
was
you
that
looking
last show
to?
that Tabuka and I
I
was on. Where
Yeah,
were
but
you?
like, I guess to
I need
me,
to
I'm not
on my side.
limiting it to just those type of questions. I need to know a little more.
Mm-hmm.
So I get what you're saying, but I'm saying sometimes you can pick. I think it was a show on there too, that some things you can pick, um, depending on the vibe, on the type of interaction you're having, what you can talk about. But you're not gonna bring up everything on the first date, are you?
Again, for me, it's the level of connection.
Okay.
True.
So if it's a strong connection, and a strong
Mhm.
connection is not going to just be one way, it's
Yeah.
going to be two ways. You're going to make some estimation of what the connection that will drive how deeply I will delve. If it's not something that I'm going to invest a lot of time in, then I'm not going to go that deeply. But if it's a strong connection, again, I just want to reiterate that's when I'm going to go more deeply into a discussion, which, Tamuk says, well, that's too much. Well, for me, it's not. For me, it's just right if the connection is there. Connection's not there, I'm probably not that invested and not going to invest that kind of energy like that. But
I'm gonna say, Marcus, too, even
Well, I
if the
mean,
connection is there for me, I'm a private individual pretty much.
mm-hmm,
You're not gonna get that on the first or second date from me.
Yeah. And there will be some women, Bilal, who that will work for, and there'll be some women that will say that's a red flag. Some.
Well, I'm gonna tell you
And
that
they will say that to you too. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, you can't open up, bon voyage, right? But
I had somebody tell me from the rip everything. They just, like I said, some people you don't have to ask. If they're interested in you, they'll spill it all. You're like, oh, that's that. You're like, okay, well, I trust this person at this point. They're being honest with me. I did this. I served time. Now I'm a business owner, and this is how I did it. I raise money. I do this. I take care of my auntie. This is how I roll. And I'm not a texter, and they just go on with it. And then so it's a little easier to exchange. I'm saying, like what Blah was saying, like you just can't just boom and this and what about this question? and people kind of might feel a little standoffish. It depends on the personality of the person, the maturity. But some people, I've had quite a few people just tell it all right from the beginning because they're interested in you and they want to get to know you right away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, Tamuk, you started to say something.
It's a symphony, man. You know, it's really it's really a dance, man.
Yeah.
Because you want to play off of people and their cues and your cues. You know, because going into, like I said, it's a matter of where you meeting people at. Because I'm not about to give you the life story while we standing at the lottery machine. I'm just not about to do that. But if I meet you in Dollar General and it's a long line, I'm gonna try to figure out why you got that big old evergreen air freshener tree in your bathroom, and you know, we gonna chop it up, and it'll go back and forth. But you know, you gotta be able to discern people's vibrations, because
Absolutely.
I done seen it go left. You know, people will overshare. Some people will undershare, but it's all, everything got its place. So, you know what you may be looking for, the perfect woman may end up out on you because at that particular moment, she, even though she may be perfect for you, she may not give you all that you're looking for at that one particular moment when you're trying to figure out all her life story, and she just ain't.
Yeah, I think Tamuk is having some challenges. I didn't X him out. I want to hear what he has to say.
Oh, there you go.
It might be a day where you might be in a rush and might not want to hear everybody's story. And then somebody gonna try to talk you to death while you in there away trying to get your specialized drink they remember.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You missed the point.
You might not want to.
You missed
might
my
not
point.
even want to.
You missed my point. My point isn't a rush situation or a lottery line. It's when two people have a connection, Tamuk. You judge based on the connection. And if I have a deep enough connection with someone, initial connection, I'm going to go farther. So it's not a you gotta, and it's not a symphony. It is simply a connection. And the one thing I think I will just agree with you on, there is a level of discernment that is required, but that's a part of the connection that I'm trying to allude to. When you're connected to someone, you know that you are or aren't, and you quickly might learn what it is about them that you are connected to. Mm-hmm. And so you can use that as leverage to deepen the connection and or conversation if you feel it's worthy of that type of investment. And so that's what I'm saying. It's not, I see somebody in a lottery line and she got yams. And so now
let me just start talking.
I'm not connected on the basis that she's got yams. I'm connected to something beyond that. And once I discern that I am connected, I'm going to say, I'm going to delve more deeply. That's what I'm saying. So it isn't as casual as I think maybe you're characterizing it for me. I think you can have a connection with somebody and learn pretty quickly whether or not that connection has any energy attached to it. And if it does, and you decide to pursue that, for me, just me as one individual, I'm going to pursue it to learn more about that individual a lot more deeply and a lot more quickly and observe red flags.
Absolutely.
Versus, 6 dates in, and some people are like that. They, as you heard Bilal said, very private person, and it takes a certain kind of person to respond to that. There are some people by 6 dates, they're going to want maybe to know a little bit more than Bilal might be willing to let them know. They will negotiate that at that time and determine whether or not they're going to continue to see each other or not. That may or may not work for him.
Can I ask you a question, Marcus?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So in that case, of what you're saying that you would most likely want to see happen or do in your situation of questioning and getting to know that person right away. So would that help you determine faster if this are you saying that this is something that will help you see? Because some people are not looking for a long term, and some people are looking for short term or long term. So
Mhm.
would that to you help you see, with your, because I get what you're saying. A lot of times doing it a little faster will help you realize, okay, well, maybe this person I could be a good friend with,
Mhm.
or and stay in the friend zone and never happen.
Mhm.
Or I can actually see myself and they actually see me as the way we're talking, being in a little exchange, a good long term relationship or whatever, a couple more dates.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying there to kind of get that over with, as far as getting your bearings on where this person stands with you,
Yes.
and with you with them. So yeah, that makes sense. But
Yeah,
some people,
that's just for
okay,
me. You know,
some
some
people aren't
people
mature enough to
are
do
going to
it.
take more time with it. For me,
Yeah.
I'm going to, if there
Right
is
off the
that
bat.
kind of connection, I'm interested to see whether or not we're going to build that connection, or am I meant to connect you to Bilal? Maybe I'm meant to connect you to Bilal. Maybe it's not a connection for me. Maybe I'm the connector to connect you to somebody else. And I
Right. I
try to
remember you
assess
saying
that pretty quickly.
they might be someone that you said that they're not for you, that you sit down with someone. Oh, my friend, yeah. So that makes sense.
Yeah, pretty quickly for me. And that's, again, high energy connection. A low energy connection, I'm not going to be as invested in. And, I won't have too many upfront yam connections. It won't be, just a yam connection in that regard. So high energy connections are something I'm looking to invest in.
Right. Right.
And so if it's not high energy, then it's a whole nother discussion. It might not be 36 questions, right? It might be two,
Now
you
I'm
know.
asking as a female, what is a low energy? Because I
Low
know
energy for me, just me. These guys are going to have something different. My answer won't have yams or sweet potatoes in it. But low energy for me
Patty
means that
pies. Patty
low,
pies.
low energy for me means that I connect with you physically, you're attractive, but you don't stimulate me mentally.
okay.
That's a low connection for me.
Yeah.
Low energy.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot. You're great to look at, but that looking is going to lead down one path because you
And
have
it's
not
like,
connected with my mind. So that's low energy for me. It's like low
mm.
hanging fruit. It's low energy, right?
So what category would you put that relationship or that person in with that low
So
energy? Would they be a friend? Would they be someone that you could potentially see yourself with?
and so for me, it's a no. But
No.
again, you need to ask the yams and sweet potato people because they might find a better usage for that low energy connection. For me, I'm probably we're going to be friends, and I'm going to introduce you to somebody who might be a higher connection.
Mama V said low hanging fruit. Oh my.
I'm just saying,
That's what I was laughing at.
for me, if it's purely physical for me, it's not going to last very long for me.
Yeah.
Not a
So
purely
the interest will go very quickly. It will go away.
well.
And
My,
you'll
my interest might stay as long as until I see the next very purely physical. So then when you rival the next one, I'm comparing the two. It's not going to be a unicorn because there are beautiful, beautiful, right?
yeah.
It's not going to be a
Yeah.
unicorn. So that energy is just my preference for an aesthetic. I'm going to see
Okay.
that again, right?
Yeah.
That's low energy for me. And whatever purpose it can serve in that low energy, that's going to be the extent of it. It's not going to be long term. But if you stimulate me mentally, that's where I'm going to say, okay, well, let's see, did I stimulate you mentally? And that's where I start to delve into, okay, is there a connection? Or there is a connection. And that's where I go down that track. But the low energy, not a lot of investment for me. But I'm going to let's see. Let's start with Tamuk. Is a low yams energy a good connection, Tamuk?
It has been, and I've had some low hanging fruit connections that were great relationships. But I've had some that you know, all low hanging fruit ain't just ripe. Some of it is rotten. So you gotta know how to pick and choose. So, but a lot of times, like you said, it's more of a challenge trying to get to the higher levels of the tree. And that does it for some people because they like that kind of challenge. But you know, I love fruit, so
And when you say,
I don't care where it comes from off the tree.
well, when you say rotten, does that mean you have to taste it to see, to look?
Oh no, because sometimes
Okay.
you can
I
see
just
some
want to
rotten fruit
clarify.
without eating it.
I just want to clarify. I wanted to clarify. And Bilal, to that on low energy, what do you do when there's a low energy connection? I'm looking at comments, and Martez says, wow, you really have to be fluent in discernment to know that the individual is for someone else, especially if the individual is attracted to you. Yep, highly gifted in discernment. And, yep. Somebody could be, if the attraction is not mutual and you don't stimulate me mentally, you don't stimulate me mentally.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not going to invest time in that if you don't stimulate me mentally. If you do, then I might invest time to see what's the nexus of that. Where does that rest in? And that would be that. So no, I just wanted to clarify for Tamuk, Mama V. I just wanted to make sure, because we get into these yams discussions and, I want to make sure. So to Bilal, low energy. Do you invest a lot of time in low energy? What do you do with low energy?
Well, see, this conversation is hard for me, brother, because I'm just getting out of relationships. So
Yes.
and
just go back to before you were in that relationship.
Dude, I was in a 25-year marriage. Come on. So
and no
space
in between.
But see here, okay, in the in between, see the in between doesn't even count because I wasn't looking. But see, before that, before the marriage, man, I was young, dumb, and stupid, and yeah, probably if it wasn't for the yams, whatever, as Tamuk say, the rest didn't matter, because at that point I wasn't looking for a long-term relationship. I wasn't looking to get married. But so I'm just gonna put myself out there now. Got to be a connection. So when you say energy and a connection, we got to connect somewhere. We got to be on the same maturity level. And maturity level for me at this point in my life, about to turn 50 next year, it's financial, it's personality, it's everything, man. So somebody told me I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life, and I may be, but I have an expectation at this point in time in my life that if financially you're not together, you can be the best person in the world. Tamuk said it. I'm gonna miss you. At this point, I'm probably gonna miss you.
And let me ask you this: if someone does not have it financially together, they probably won't stimulate you mentally, will they?
Absolutely, because okay. I'm looking to see why you in this issue, okay. And you dang near 50 years old yourself or what have you.
Okay.
I can't teach you burgeoning. I'm not gonna be your daddy and trying to be your lover and your husband.
Okay.
That part.
So that's a low energy, right? That's
very low energy.
So you might find her attractive. If she's not together, that's low energy. Is that
very much so?
Okay. Yeah.
But again, I found someone previously who wasn't together financially, had a great personality, beautiful, but some things did not compare, which caused us to have low energy going forward in our life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not trying to make that mistake again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that. I could see you not wanting to make that mistake again. Yeah. So Christina, did that answer your question?
That was good. Thank you. We need to know that as women. It's like, you guys value low and high.
Jay Gerald is saying what you think isn't good for you can be the best thing you need. My lesson learned. Okay, great lesson for you. I think you got to be sure that you are discerning. Tamuk would say your vibrations, but I say your discernment. You have to make sure that you're seeing what you're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't typically come from you not delving. But, you know, maybe you don't delve and you see it. For me, you delve and some of these questions I think are great, but you delve and you find out, oh, I thought this, but it's
Mm-hmm.
really this. And then you pull back and say, okay, so you kind of, you know, have to determine that. Or you delve and you find out, oh, what I thought on the surface was bad is really good. Either way, you don't necessarily get there without that delving. But again, you don't have to delve if there's no connection, if it's not that high energy connection. You know,
see too, Marcus, your connection and your energy is also going to depend on what else is going on in your life. Like, for instance, I have children that I'm still raising. So I'm not looking for a mother for these kids, but I'm looking for somebody that's compatible for the children as well, because I can't bring chaos into my house.
So the energy you're looking for is peace, right?
Absolutely.
And the energy
That's
you're looking
important.
for is a balanced person, right?
Absolutely.
And the energy you're looking for is an even temperament, right? And the energy you're looking for is a patient person, right? So those are the things you delve into when you're meeting them before you bring her home, because if you don't have that energy connection, if it's not high energy, then you say, well, no, I'm not going to invest more time in something that doesn't have these outcomes, right?
Right.
That's why it's important that you got to get to that authentic person, because everybody might have a ton of things going on, but unless you delve to find out who that person is.
That's a sexy look. Okay.
Why?
I'm just
I'm
listening
trying
to
to
the
pay
question, brother.
attention.
Unless you find out
I'm just listening to the question.
we understand. We understand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just listening to the question. I don't know what they got going on.
I'm
I'm
sure
just sitting here chilling in the vehicle listening.
got it. Valencia
It's a
saying
great
that you have to
it's a
be
great
able to see
conversation.
it and not force what is not, because you will miss your blessing dealing with that which is not. That is so true, Valencia. That's why you gotta delve.
Yeah.
You gotta delve. And I think it's for me, Karen, it's important that I cover many bases, because temperament, how someone shows up in conflict, is important to me.
Yeah. That's
And
true.
I need to know, I like to know that when there's a high energy connection right away. I need to know if somebody is volatile. So I need to know how they respond to opening up, how they respond to being transparent, how they respond to a disagreement. And better than saying, well, how do you respond to a disagreement? It might be that we disagree in principle on something, and how does someone navigate that disagreement?
And Marcus, you know what? On the first date, I'm not gonna whip this out and be like, let's go through all these real quick, even if we have a strong connection. But see, because I learned, like, right now, you don't see the whole person and until a period of time. I'm going the wrong way on my camera. Period of time. So I don't mind being patient and getting some of these answers on date 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. You know, so because again, I want to make sure I get it over a period of time, and that I don't rush into something, because I missed question 18 and I'm down to 24, and then boom, next thing you know, we cohabitating or whatever, and question 18 would have told it all.
Yeah.
But
And I'm wondering if you would be different if you didn't have such a need to be private.
And the reason why I need to be private is based on past experience.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a need to be private. I'm saying, would you be different if you didn't have that need?
Probably so. Absolutely.
Okay. So that's the difference.
But just to respond to say that need to be private is based on experience, because I missed question 18.
I understand, but I guess I'm saying, if you have a need to be private, it's going to take you longer.
And I'm okay with that.
To hold back your transparency, it's going to take you longer. And that's for two people to decide to negotiate. Just for me, I'm not going to negotiate to learn what I want to learn 6 dates in if it's high energy, not low energy, not even a medium energy. If it's high energy and I'm going to invest the time in it, I'm going to want to know the information that I want to know. Will I deepen an understanding on date number 6? Absolutely. But I'm not going to have the same boundaries that someone who wants to be private might have at date 1. I have different boundaries because I don't have that same need. I don't have that.
Hey, look, I'm trying to understand Sherry Oliver's responses. No need, no rationale, can't do that.
Give her a second, or let the facilitator handle it. But however you want to do it. You go ahead.
Jingle all the way.
Yeah.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. No, man, it's like we've said it all the entire show. It's going to be connections. It's going to be opportunity. It's going to be situations, environment, because all of those things play a role. And because I've had experiences where I've met people who started out as low energy or low vibrations and turned out to be high vibrating people and were high vibrating people in my existence. And I've seen the reverse of that. People who started out as a high vibrating individual, but ended up being a low vibrating individual over time, because it's all a matter of consistency. If you can't maintain a certain level of high vibrations, then a lot of times, you get up there to the top of the tree thinking you got the better fruit, and it's rotten up there. So,
I guess
it's just a matter of. Go ahead, I'm listening.
No, you said it's just a matter of. Go ahead.
It's just a matter of. Sometimes you just gotta play the energy when you get it, because sometimes it might not be high energy. Sometimes it might be high energy later on, because some people grow over time.
Yeah.
Because of their connections and experiences with you.
That's a very good point.
Hey, who knows?
I've learned from that statement. I can learn from that. Absolutely.
Yeah. I disagree on the part about. I think if there is bad fruit up top, and there could be, it if you can discern. If you got discernment on you, you that. Discernment doesn't lie.
But people do.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
Yeah, but discernment will always educate the heart. Discernment will always educate the heart.
But I'm in agreement with, there are some dishonest people out here. So you can't think that, and I guess that's where the questioning will come in, or even like allow maybe a longevity of questioning and getting to know someone, because it might bring out like you said, some of the mean streak or the anger that you might not see in a quick time frame. So for me, I'm leaning towards what I was saying, because it's more of how much the person is willing to share. So like, he's private. It might take me a longer time to get to know him versus someone that's very upfront. But like you said, it will prolong the process. Unfortunately, if you're not a good match, then you wasted a little time. But sometimes you get the bad fruit, but if the person is not honest, that's even worse.
Yeah. I just think that,
Wait, can I say this? Can we stop saying wasting our time? Can we stop saying that? Because
when you say
no relationship,
time,
that's what Christina just said. There's opportunities where people
may
lie, and then you end up wasting your time.
Time is precious. You
cannot
waste time. When people say, "What you doing?" Nothing. That's the worst thing you can say. That you're doing nothing. Why are you doing nothing with your time? Why aren't you reading a book? Why aren't you, and I'm not being defensive. I'm just saying, like, for me, the way I say it, my definition of wasting time or not wasting time is, I could be using this energy I have and this time I have in my life right now on pursuing whatever it is I'm trying to do, instead of wasting.
Got you. I missed your comment. I'm sorry. Thanks for bringing that up. I missed that. Go ahead, Timuk.
But let's look at it as what you could have been doing, and compared to in finding out about through this bad situation or this other situation. that this is other things that you could do. Because a lot of times, even in bad relationships, and this is just me and my path on it of enlightenment. I've come to understand that every relationship has taught me something because that's just what I've learned is every situation, whether it's in a relationship with somebody personally or whether it's a job relationship. Marcus, you're in human resources. You understand this is that you learn about people and people learn about themselves through being fired. I said that's going to be my next book is talking about people getting fired from their jobs because they learn that this isn't for them, but they learn what is. So in
I,
a relationship, if it doesn't work out, you still learn, okay, this is what I need to really be specific about and what I want. But you learn that from being in a situation where not that you're wasting your time, but because you're learning something from it.
I
So even
understand
if
what you're.
it doesn't last for forever,
Yeah, I understand
go
what you're
ahead.
articulating. I think I do understand that. From a human resources standpoint, though, I don't know if I subscribe to the part of it that you referenced. When a person is getting fired, you're absolutely learning a lesson from being fired. But the goal is to learn the lesson without being fired, right? And so the return on your investment isn't what you put into the investment, and that's
Correct.
what could be the waste, and that's what is the opportunity cost, right? You could have spent that time doing something else that would have yielded you a better return beyond just the lesson. So while I understand, you're right, it's not a complete waste, and that you learned a valuable lesson and you learn what to do or not to do in the next relationship or the next job. But the opportunity cost is you could have put your energies and
Somebody
resources
else.
into being acclimated to the organization or being there on time or learning how to manage your boss or learning not to take so many sick days. You would have learned a lesson and maybe got promoted, and that might have yielded you a different return on your investment. So I understand what you mean. Maybe you don't want to characterize it as a complete waste of time, but it is time that you can't get back, and it didn't yield you the maximum investment that it could.
Benefit.
I think
You
that's
can't get no time back. That's the thing though. You can't get any time back. Once you put some
That's
time
the
into
point.
anything, you're never going to get that time back.
so.
That's
Was
So
it wasted is the question, and the answer might be yes, depending whether or not you got a return on the investment that you had thought to get. That's what I'm saying.
And in the process, you did learn something. You
Yeah.
learned red because in my process, I'm gonna say personally, I learned how to react to see red flags. So it's like, oh man, I wasted time on that, and what I missed was boom, boom, boom. So it's gonna carry me because I was like, okay, listen, we can't. This is the example. We can't continue because we don't match energy. We don't this, we don't that. Or what do you think? You say, yeah, maybe we could be cool. So then that ends that. And then now you can move on and say, well, with that person, I should have did that different. Maybe I shouldn't have ended it. Maybe we could have done that. So then you move that to the next. I get it. But you're not going to keep having dates and seeing this person that you're not either attracted to, or all these questions that you asked, they weren't fulfilled enough for you to keep going. So you're going to just keep going and learning a lesson and bump your head as you go along versus saying, man, maybe, like you said, maybe my homeboy Jason, you guys actually make a great match.
Yeah.
We don't. But man, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, he loves the saxophone and you love piano. You guys would hit it off. So
That
then
part.
it's not a waste for everybody, but it does shorten up the time that you could be spending memories or
Yeah.
trying to get to know someone else that might be for you. That's all
Yeah.
I had.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm going to the comments really quickly. Martez says time is valuable, yet it takes time to get to know someone. Discernment itself takes time. I don't agree with that. Spending time around an individual allows you to discern. I don't agree with that necessarily, but I appreciate your comment. It looks like Sherry and Bilal are having a comment. Y'all need a separate inbox? Do y'all need a separate space? What y'all doing?
hey, y'all ain't gonna be doing this private inbox and stuff
Well,
around
first
here.
of all, Bilal, you're not going to be opening yourself up to us after telling us you wouldn't open yourself up, not in front of us. Go get you an inbox. Get a room.
He
All right,
on here talking about I say private because
I'm private, and him and Sherry going back and forth. Membership has its privileges. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. What show is this?
we
No,
are
no, but see,
paid.
it was a couple of comments before that that said, I'm private because I have something to hide. There's a gray
Oh,
area.
okay.
And so, no, I really don't have anything to hide. I just want to make sure I take my time and I get the recipe correct. It's like cooking,
Come on
If,
with the recipe then.
all right, girl, here you go. If I rush through a recipe, I'm not going to get the taste that everybody online said, oh, it tastes so great. But if I take my time and I caress that tomato,
Come
I
on, tomato.
Wait now.
squeeze that lemon.
There we go.
pinch
We're
a little
talking about
salt,
eating fruit again.
Tomatoes and
you know,
lemons. Okay.
I pinch a
You
little
taking
salt,
notes,
Oh,
and I,
Willie?
and I let
The
it
salt.
simmer.
The
Then
salt.
boom, I'm gonna get the recipe that I saw online, and I'm gonna get the flavor and
Come
the taste,
on.
and then I can enjoy it.
but
Yes.
Bilal, what
Hey, I
happens
feel
to
you,
the
bro. You
bone?
got to rub the
Lemon,
yams. I'm just saying.
Bilal, what
potatoes,
happens
You
and
got
when
to
you
eggs.
rub
are?
the yams.
Bilal, what happens when you are making this recipe and you got her in the kitchen cooking with you, but you won't let her know the secret ingredient? That's the question.
Like somebody said, membership has its
I
privileges.
clutch my
You gotta earn in order for me to pull out my little special bottle and show you what. How many times have you gone to what's that place, Bucharest, and say, how y'all season that chicken?
I do all the time,
And how many times they giving it to you?
every time.
Come on, man. The Colonel Sanders give you his secret recipe?
By the time I could find him, he was dead. Bless his memory.
Bless.
Okay, let me go back to
Jingle
Valencia says,
bells,
be careful that the
jingle
lessons
bells.
are not
Look,
transferred to
listen,
another.
just rub the yams, man.
Some
Just
similar
rub the
characteristics.
yams.
All right, brother. I'm gonna take your advice. New leaf on life. I'm gonna start loving
I
that.
agree with that. She said, be careful that the lessons are not transferred to another. I agree because I think the lesson should be for yourself to change or be a better way, for me to be a better way of doing things for myself. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, next time somebody date me, I'm going to do this with them. Like, it's going to be a change with myself, like the red flags. Next time, I'm not going to, start kissing so fast. Like Marcus said, he goes right in, he goes right in for the kiss. That's what Marcus said. So, so
If
I want to
there's
make decisions
high
on
energy, Christina,
yeah.
if there's
So
high energy.
it depends, but I'm not going to carry the issue that I had with the last person to the next. Like you gotta carry some good energy, and you have to maybe you didn't communicate as well in the last relationship. You say, you know what, maybe if I would have communicated a little differently. So that's but in general, I think like Marcus said, when you come right in with it's two benefits. I think what I said is true too. Like if you feel in the energy of the person and you're asking a couple questions, maybe you feel like maybe they're not ready or you're not ready to get all these questions in, and you might just want to learn a little bit as you go along. And at the same time, it might even open them up that it might even not take that long for them because they say, oh, he wants to know about me, and they just go for it. But to your point, Marcus, yes, if you have right in the beginning in the coffee line start, it can
What I'm
definitely
saying is, again,
early.
every connection, every meeting is not going to be high energy. But a high energy connection that you want to pursue up to the individual, if you don't have any challenges about being open and transparent, and for some people that for them means red flag, and it's not necessarily a red flag. For some people, they consider it a red flag. But if you feel like you can have a dialogue with somebody and there's high energy and you feel like it's reciprocated, just for me, I am going to invest more energy in that than I'm going to invest in a low energy connection to groom it over time, for it to grow and to build for something that's going to be a long-term relationship. That low energy connection is low for a reason, and whatever that reason is, I'm going to invest that amount of energy into it, not like I would do a high energy relationship. And the low energy oftentimes turns out that I connect them to somebody else who they match like, and they're always saying, gosh, I'm so glad you introduced me to so and so. And I'm thinking to myself, gosh, I'm glad too. I never say that never say that, but I'm always thinking it. I'm so happy I introduced you to whomever.
Best thing you ever did. Yeah.
Best thing. But I'm like, I'm so glad that worked out. I'm so glad. That's great. But I'm really thinking, you better believe it's great because it was low energy. And I wasn't going to put high stakes in something low energy. Now, there are people that say, you know, massage it along and it shall grow. It shall. For me, I put high energy into high stakes and high energy. That's just me. Yeah. I'm not getting the subject. Sorry. Is this about a relationship or business? So I think Bilal has taken you down a different path, and we're going to let you and Bilal have a different conversation, Sherry. I'm so glad you're here, but we were talking more about relationships. We were talking about 36 questions that lead to love, which is a psychology study that happened many years ago and went viral in 2015 when it was republished in the New York Times and presented in various journals about strangers and couples meeting and going through these series of questions to see if it builds them to a relationship or something more long-term. And so I said at the outset that while it was a study, it wasn't done worldwide, right? It wasn't done multicultural. So there are other facets of it that could be explored to determine how well it works with everybody. So we used those 36 questions and took a few of them, asked some people to pull out the questions that they would actually ask. Of course, some followed that and some didn't, Sherry, but that's okay. And then I asked them some questions from that list and they answered those. So that's where we are. I think the business part came in. I'm not exactly sure how it came in, but you know, I'm sure that you and Bilal can talk that out a little bit more. Let me know.
Nah, I was just responding to the hiding thing. You know, I don't have anything to hide.
Okay, let me know if y'all need some supervision. Outside of that, it really wasn't a business contact.
And I don't know. I don't know what happened.
I'll watch. I'm just saying, I don't.
Thank you for volunteering.
Oh, I mean, supervision. I mean, you said supervision, so I'll watch.
Thank you for volunteering. Okay. All right. So that's good stuff. Sherry, thank you for joining. I'm at Caucasian woman who dates all Black men, and I could definitely contribute. You are at it. Okay. Very good. Very good. I appreciate that for letting us know that. And thank all of you. We're at 11:07, which is, I mean, it's a good conversation, but I'm going to wrap it up. But I want to know, I know Bilal said earlier, hey, I'm not going to have these 36 questions with me on a date, but I think it would be a fun date experiment. You don't think it would be a fun date experiment to try it?
I would.
Oh, it's on the phone, you know. Hang on, girl. But I need to incorporate some Tamuk Yam questions. So
I think that, well, you can incorporate those questions if you think they'll work. Do what works for you.
No.
I think maybe, yeah, you do what works for you. I'm gonna leave it there. I want to explore this some more. I do, because you know we have a dating game coming up, and I want to explore this some more. Would any of you be willing to have a one-on-one, even if it's in a breakout room, and ask each other these questions sequentially? Okay, Christina said yes, and no other hands went up.
Well, I mean, like I said,
Okay,
I'm not going to ask those.
It's good practice.
There was only one
It's good practice because I'm dating, so it will help me.
Okay, Karen said yes. Good. Karen, I'm going to involve you in it now. Okay, good. I didn't hear Tamuk and I didn't hear Bilal. And so I put you on the spot, of course. I'm just asking, would you go through the questions sequentially?
Actually, I would go through the questions.
Okay. What about you, Tamuk?
Yeah, I would ask a whole bunch of people them questions.
No, that's not what I asked you.
I would not mind doing a breakout room. I would do a breakout room.
Oh, Lord.
Tamuk, I'm asking you, will you go sequentially through the 36 questions That's what I'm asking you.
Why you got to say it like I'm slow, man? I said yes.
That ain't no.
Just
You
listen.
twisted
My little
around what I
short yellow
said.
bus got a disco ball on it. I'm just saying. We just, yes,
No, you twisted
yes,
around what I
sir.
was saying, Tamuk.
Oh, my apologies. I thought I said yes. I would ask the questions, Marcus.
Okay, so we got 4 volunteers.
You gotta answer them too.
I'm going to work on getting a few more volunteers. Sherry says she only dates men of color. So we'll have some more discussion, Sherry, to see how that,
Me too, Sherry.
we're going to have some more discussion to see how that pans out. And yes, so inbox me at Love and Stuff so we can include you in this conversation. Absolutely. But I want to explore this some more. I'm very fascinated by the study, but I'm more fascinated to see how open people will be in answering these questions, because some of them delve a little bit. And
I mean, Christina's excited up there to be asking these questions. Okay.
It is a little delving for somebody that you just met or you don't know. So in my mind, it requires high energy. I just don't know that with a low energy, you would be that invested in this kind of connection. But, oftentimes people that are as attractive and handsome and beautiful meet people, are drawn to people, and people are drawn to them where you have high energy connections. Have you found that as the people in this room? Have you found that you have a lot of high energy connections?
I can't answer that question for you,
I would
brother.
say half and half lately.
Well, not today.
I've had low and high.
Not today, Bilal. I mean, over the period of your life. Come on, work with me.
Absolutely.
Okay. And to look over the period of your life, have you had a lot of high energy connections?
It's been about half and half.
Okay.
You know what? I say it's been about 70-30 on the high end.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny, Marcus. You only attract people that have similar qualities to you sometimes, So, even when you're looking at your little tribe, I'm gonna say tribe, people that you hang around or whatever, most of those people are probably high energy connections for you. Kind of like the old proverb, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah. I tend to agree, especially with the part that you say you're going to attract high energy people to you. I believe that's why I believe a lot of people are having high energy connections, but sometimes we discount them for various different reasons. I believe so that, like Tamuk said, 70, I'd say 89.9%.
Absolutely, I think it's probably higher. Yeah,
the 10.1%, but sometimes those high energy connections have some reasons why you kind of run away from them. But okay, all right, I'm excited.
I know it's 11:13, but real quick, so do you think those high energy connections, because basically we're attracting similar people, do you think somehow we're pretty much becoming intimidated by the high energy person because you're almost looking at yourself in the mirror?
It's happened to me.
I don't know. I think if the higher energy, this is just one thought. If the high energy person, because I think we're all egocentric, but if the high energy person is maniacal, that's where the friction happens. And if you have any narcissism in you and it shows up in somebody else, that will intimidate you.
Right.
But I think egocentric is a little different, right? Because we all have some ego, and we tend to see people, of course, through these lenses that we've seen ourselves through, right? So we put people through the same lens that we put ourselves through. I don't think that part intimidates us. I think when we see characteristics in persons that are flawed, like we might have a little bit of that narcissism, that's what might be intimidating to us.
Right.
That's what I think. because I think we all, are egocentric.
I don't know, Christina. If I go through these questions, would you be gentle with me?
Yes.
Well, I think what's going to happen
to help you.
I think what's going to happen is you're gonna not want to answer them all, and Christina's going to get frustrated. Mook is going to deflect and joke, and Christina's going to get frustrated. But I think you
all laugh. Mook is going. Wait. Mook is going to deflect.
Come on, Marcus.
Did he say choke?
No, I didn't say joke.
No, he said you're going to
joke.
Oh, okay, all right.
No,
I said
joke.
joke.
Okay, all right.
I would probably be like,
okay, joke. Okay,
I got
you.
like I would,
all right.
with him, I would, because I wanted to answer the question. But but other than that, probably not with Bilal. It'll probably be like, next question.
I think you're gonna see a different side of Bilal, but let's just see what happens. Valencia says, I think if the energy is high, that it's only intimidating if the mirror shows us a part of us we don't want to face. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the egomaniacal part, right?
Yep.
To me, that's how I would characterize it. That's the part of us. You're right. We don't want to face it, but we don't want to see it in nobody else either, right? Because we're quick to identify what is in other people, but there's a reason why you saw that so easily. That's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show, man. Yeah. That's a good
one. Quick to say, oh, you're impatient. Well, how did you know I was so impatient?
Right.
Oh, you're so judgmental. Is that because you're judging me now?
Is your judgment? Yeah.
So, we're quick to identify that thing in somebody else that, but that is another show. That is good stuff. All right, it's 11:16, and I am thankful that you all came on. There were about 8 people I invited. I think some of them chickened out. Hint, hint, those of you that are in the comment, I'm talking about you behind your back. 8 people. I wanted to have at least 4 couples, not making you dating, but 4 men and women, and then 1 extra person. I thought that would be good to have. And so we'll do that. We'll do it in the breakout room, let you all do it off camera, and then come on camera and talk about it. Would that be better than just doing it on camera? I think you'll get a little bit more comfortable doing it one-on-one and then come out and talk about it, what you learned or where you stopped or what you thought wasn't relevant or what went too far. Because I really think it is a good exercise to do with somebody. Say, hey, I have you ever heard of these 36 questions that lead to love? And they're like, what? So, well, I just want to, play a game with you and just go through it and see what happens and see if that person is like, I don't like your games, or see if the person is like, well, maybe, we learned some interesting facts about each other.
Because I was doing some questions with somebody, not those, and they were like, are you, what did they ask me? They said, are you doing a background check on me or something? And I was like, kinda. I mean, but I didn't mean it to go like that. So some people, like you said, they can get a little intimidated if it depends on the energy. But.
Yeah, and even, I think high energy. I've had high energy conversations where it was like, is this the Spanish Inquisition? And I'm like, no, not really. But the not really part means that it's kind of, sort of, right?
It could be, yeah. So keep answering the question.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Well, that's what happens, because when you have people who have, for whatever reason, have been hurt for some reason, they tend not to want to be vulnerable. And these are a lot of questions that reveal your vulnerabilities, and it puts you in a position where you either have to be intimate with somebody or you have to continue to withdraw deeper. And when there's somebody that is in a position where of interest, it kind of puts you at a crossroads moment, because now you have to decide, do I be a grown up, put my big drawers on and step up and be vulnerable to be hurt again, or do I withdraw even further because now they're asking some probing questions.
I love it, Tamuk. I love it. I almost want to forget all of the jokes that weren't funny today. I love it. Because if you're going to go down a pathway of deeper connection, how
Mm-hmm.
do you do that without being vulnerable?
Vulnerable. That's true.
You risk
Right.
being hurt, you risk revealing your true self, and you risk getting rejected. And if you're not willing to do that, why invest high energy into something that's not high stakes? And so that's the whole point of the exercise. It does call you to the carpet to say, I'm going to be vulnerable or I'm not. And
Mm-hmm.
people can interpret those different ways. You could say the person that's not being vulnerable is not ready, or you could say the person that's not vulnerable is hiding something. But we should give the person the benefit of the doubt and grace and say the person's not ready. Now let's negotiate whether or not we want to invest in getting you ready or getting to the place where you can be more vulnerable for me. That's a choice between
And then you have the other side to that where you have, somebody that's looking like they're way too eager. And a lot all of this comes back down to how people have dealt with their hurt. And
Absolutely.
if you haven't dealt with your hurt, then these
Mm-hmm.
type of reactions will come about because you'll have the individuals that are either too vulnerable, are too afraid to be invulnerable, or you have those people who are they too eager to jump full in.
yeah. And
So you gotta be able to judge.
yeah. And there is some negotiation in there, right? You get to make a choice, right? So if I'm the person that's too
Right.
eager and I'm all in, right? I'm all in like, okay, now, who is that person that what you rescuing out of the house? And you're like, well, why is the house burning? Why are you asking me this question? Why are you so eager to get these answers? That's when we negotiate and say, because I really feel connected to you and I want you to trust me and be vulnerable to me, even though you've been hurt before. I can tell you've been hurt before. I want you to trust me that this delving is so that I can see how deeply I can be connected to you. Can you
Yeah.
start to trust me? Give me some grace to trust that that's what this excitement and this rush to get there is, that I want to have a deep connection and I'm willing to go down that path with you. Are you willing to go down that path with me? That's a conversation and a negotiation that can happen. And it could happen early. It could happen later on, depending on the two people. But that's a part of that conversation. I think you're right. It's an important part because a lot of people have been hurt in relationships and they simply don't want to be hurt again. And many of them aren't trying to hide something. They're not trying to be deceptive. No, there are the few that are, but I think
Mm-hmm.
those are anomalies. Most
No,
people
we
don't
become private.
again. Huh?
We become private.
You don't want to be hurt again, but you do realize at some point that the only way that you really love the other person is being open enough to allow them to hurt you that same way and
Yeah.
trusting that they would not.
Absolutely.
So that's
That's
a
really
vulnerability.
where the true essence of the love relies. That you open your heart to somebody and say, "This heart has had a dagger right in the center, but I trust you enough not to do that to me." And that's a place you got to get to if that's
Mm-hmm.
where you want to go. And some people will say, "Well, no, you're hiding something," and some people will say, "Well, you really been hurt, and I'm gonna give you the space to trust me." For some, but you got to be ready to open it up. Yeah.
Hey Marcus, man, listen, man. We've been sitting here for 2 hours. Christina been sitting in the bathroom for 2 hours. I just saw her get up to stretch her legs. Um,
Tamuk.
I'm not gonna give them the energy.
Right. There you go. It's a low energy situation.
I'm high
Yeah.
energy.
Thank you,
I'm high
Christina.
energy. I
Waste
don't know
of
what you talking about.
energy.
I'm
It's a
high
low
energy.
Waste of
energy.
energy.
It's a
I'm
low
high
energy
energy.
situation. Thank you, Christina.
Low energy.
Thank
We
you,
gonna
Christina. You answered perfect.
Don't do your fingers like
Happy
that.
New
That's something else.
Year.
There you
Happy New Year.
Low
Yep.
energy. Thank you,
Happy
Christina.
New Year.
And thank you, all of you, for joining
Happy,
me as Tamuk has prompted us to understand his low energy.
Low fruit, rotten fruit. I ain't dealing with it. 2021. I'm getting rid of the old fruit. I'm getting rid of the low fruit. Like Valencia said, I'm getting rid of all of the negativity. All
Wonderful.
the yams. I gotta make 2 sweet potato pies. Yams is done. Then pies now. No.
Okay, so on that note, thank you, Bilal Muhammad. Thank you to Mook Scruggs. Thank you, Christina Smith. It has been enlightening. I'm looking forward to part 2, where you guys will be paired off and we'll switch pairs so everybody will get a chance to rotate.
Wait.
Everybody's going to get a chance to rotate and you'll be in break rooms and then you'll come
She's
out
too
and talk.
excited for me. I don't know if I can do it with her. She's too excited. Too
Yeah.
excited.
I'm
you're gonna have to
excited.
calm down.
Let me
That's
listen.
too much energy right there.
I thought we were all done. I
How
thought we
is
were
it?
done with the low fruit combo. And Tamuk
Like,
is still talking. You reminded me what time it is, and we done been on 2 hours, and you still
like,
talking.
but anyway, so Christina on the toilet.
You still talking to Christina as if y'all gonna have a break room tonight.
No. Low energy.
Okay, all right. Thank you all so much. Have a happy new year. We got a lot of great things coming up in the new year. We got a Martin Luther King Jr. Presentation happening that's coming up. Christina Smith is going to be featured in our presentation. If you're looking to get your finances, your vision board, your project together for the new year, we're going to have a presentation on the 27th. We'll tell you more
Unless
about
you know what you need to do with your stimulus money. Come on. I got you.
all of that. And
I can't buy a big screen TV.
No, invest.
and
Emergency.
for those of you that have family members that live in Georgia, please, ma'am and sir, make sure that they vote for Raphael Warnock. I know him personally, outstanding gentleman, and I hope that you will vote him into the Senate along with, I can't think of the other Democratic candidate, but vote them both so that we hope to have a little bit more power. As you can see, power is important as we're looking at this block of the vote on the stimulus amount and things in the bill from the Republican Party. Let's just work hard to get folks in office that reflect our interest. Happy New Year. Thank you, Love and Stuff. Share this widely. Thank you again. We are above 7,000 views for the Love Came Upon a Midnight Clear. Thank you all so much for making that such a great, well-watched episode with the video presentation. And keep sharing and keep watching. Have a grateful evening. Thank you so much.